All right, guys, here we go. I should have grabbed a bottle of water too. You know how I do. So, welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm YouTube's bad girl, Jen. So they say. As you guys know, let's take care of a little business. I am on the block with Jen on Instagram, on the block with Jen on TikTok, where you can see all my funny reels. I'm on the block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to email me something, hit me up at on the block with Jen at Gmail, specifically topics, or if you want to do a collab with me, doesn't mean I'm going to collab with you. It means if you pop in, I'll collab with you. And that doesn't mean you have to have 1 million followers. You can have 10, long as you know, got good presence, got good topics, got a good attitude. I will collab with you, but it's at my discretion. So don't think you're going to be sliding in there and I'm going to be up on your panel the next day, okay? Doesn't work that way. But I welcome all feedback and suggestions. This is my little suggestion box on the block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to support the show, okay, super chat me, or on the block with Jen right here. You see it scrolling at the bottom. My Cash App is also on the block with Jen. I am easy to find, okay? Mama's not hiding. I am easy to find on the block with Jen all over social media, on the block with Jen at Cash App. Or you can super chat me if you're catching the replay and you want to support the show because you like something I said. Hit me a Cash App. It is open 24 hours a day. Even when I'm asleep, I get your money, okay? So if you guys want to do that, that is fine. Kanye West is the gift that keeps on giving to our algorithm. So we can't be mad, right? He's feeding us here in YouTube land. Everybody's using his name. It's good for business right now. Kanye West unraveling is good for our algorithm. So we got some little shout out to Kanye West, despite what we think of him personally. Some of us are mega fans, no matter what he says. Some people are done with him, and some people never liked him, right? That's all okay. Either way, he's good for our algos. So to salute to Kanye West, right? Everybody's eating off him right now, apparently. The plot thickens though with Mr. West. The plot thickens. He was on Drink Champs, as you guys know, right? A lot of you watch Drink Champs. BM said your rice and beans are burning up. Y'all already started with the trolling. First of all, I can burn, okay? I can cook. So my rice and beans would not be burning right now, but thank you. NYA says never young again stage name. My show is about current events. Oh, okay. Thank you, NYA, for clearing that up. Okay, guys. So so let's get into this. You guys, some of you saw just the clips of Kanye West on Drink Champs. You guys all know Drink Champs. We love Nori over there in that smoky, nasty, dirty, sweaty, liquor smelling room, right? You watch Drink Champs and it's like you can smell the death happening, right? You can smell the livers shriveling up. You can smell the lungs collapsing, right? There's a lot of smoking on in there and a lot of drinking. If they like it, I love it. I would hate to be in that room. I hope the day that I'm on Drink Champs, I'm gonna have to go in with a hazmat suit or a mask, because I just cannot be around people that give zero fucks about their organs. It's a thing. It's a thing with me. You know what I mean? I ain't knocking you guys that are attacking your organs every day with liquor and smoke. That's on you. It's your life. You only live once. That's how you want to live it. Great. I'm just saying, I don't like that type of atmosphere. I appreciate my lungs. They're the only ones I got until they put me in a box. So I'm going to treat them well. Do with that information whatever you like. I didn't watch the 3 hours. And let me get this clear. Similarly to like when you have commentary on anybody, their fans expect you to hang on every word, right? When people bring up Kevin Samuels, yeah, but did you watch his show? Did you watch his show for hours and hours and hours? He said a lot of things. With Kanye West. Yeah, but did you watch the whole 3 hours of him on Drink Champs? Watch the whole 3 hours. Honeys, babies, baby boys, baby girls. I'm a quick study. Let's start there. I am a quick study, okay? I don't know. You can chalk it up to my intelligence, my wisdom. I am Taina, so I am of the earth and I can peek people from a mile away. But I'm a quick study. I can spend time with someone in a room, kind of get their talking points, their attitude, their demeanors. If you guys know anything about Scientology, they have an amazing tone scale. No, I am not a Scientologist. Okay. I dib dab into a lot of different things that people are into because I like learning what people are into. And I'm very observant of the human race. So I did discover what's called the tone scale via Scientology. I'm not a Scientologist. I don't study. I ain't got the $3,000, videos in my living room. I never bought a book, authored by L. Ron Hubbard. That is not me. But I am a fan of their tone scale. And it's basically a scale where when you meet someone, you can kind of peep where they are tone wise. And it's a great scale. Like it freaking actually works. And it also helps you, and I know I'm sorry, this is off topic, but it also helps you control thyself when you're around someone that has a nasty attitude or a nasty disposition. And we meet those people a lot. I loathe those people. I loathe them to the core, right? Because I'm a very light, happy, spirited, love life, love oxygen, love air, love meeting people. I'm a people person. So when I'm around somebody with a nasty disposition, it's unnerving, right? So with that tone scale, it literally tells you like, okay, this person has this tone, that person has that tone. And it's kind of like, in a way, it guards you from being triggered by these people. Because if you're not that person, if you're not like a low vibe person, those people trigger you. You automatically want to like snap at them, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're alive. You have air in your lungs. What the fuck? You know what I mean? It triggers you. Like, it puts you in a bad mood. So, I learned a lot from that tone scale. I learned a lot from anger management. I'm circling back to my point that when people tell me you need to watch the whole 3 hours so you can really understand where Kanye's coming from. I'm a quick study. I can tell Kanye he's unstable. And I don't say that as an insult or as a joke or trying to, drag him. We all know Kanye's been, very interesting personality. Some people call him obnoxious. Some people have called him narcissistic. And this is while his mother was alive. Okay? Before you guys start telling me that it's because his mama passed away. Kanye has always been this way. If you guys watch his Netflix documentary, which I couldn't finish because it was just too much. It was just too much, right? He is annoying to watch, right? He's interesting for a little while. It's like a car crash. When you're driving by, it's like you got to see it, but you wouldn't like pull up a chair and sit there and watch the car crash, right? But you're going to look while you're driving by. Some people have that type of personality. Kanye is one of them. So I don't have to watch the whole 3 hours to get the gist of what he was saying. I got it. I'm good. I take notes very quickly. Okay. I peep your style and your demeanor and your dialogue and basically what your theme is. All of us have a theme. All of us. You guys watching, I have a theme. We all have a theme. We all have imaginary theme music that plays when we're walking, right? We all have a theme. So I can peep pretty quickly where Kanye is coming from and why. Same thing like Kevin Samuels. I can peep pretty quickly what his angle is, what his hustle is, right? I don't have to sit there and watch 55 episodes of him talking for 3 hours for me to get it, right? Maybe you guys do. I don't. I was usually that kid in school that finished my test quickly. I'm like this. I'm like this, right? Okay. So Drink Champs. You guys can't even find the video anymore. Nori took it down. Drink Champs took the video down. They were getting way too much heat because of the comments that Kanye West was making on Drink Champs. He was doubling down on being anti-Jewish establishment, right? And he also went there with George Floyd. Now, here's the thing. Sorry, guys. I told you every time I'm on here, people text and text and text. Ew, I have to respond to this. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm being so rude right now. My apologies. Oh, good. This person is tied up, so I don't have to respond right away. Okay, cool. So, so he doubled down on Drink Champs. Nori took it down. As of today, they took it down. They apologized to George Floyd's family. And the plot is thickening. It's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. I saw the soundbite of Kanye saying that the infamous Derek Chauvin knee to George Floyd's neck is not what killed him, right? It was the fentanyl. The fentanyl that was in the system is what killed George Floyd, according to Kanye West, referring to a documentary that Candace Owens was a part of. And as you guys know, Candace Owens doesn't think that George Floyd should have been martyred. Okay. Hold on to your teacups, because I don't think George Floyd should have been martyred either. Sorry, I don't. Okay. Two things can be absolutely true. Okay. George Floyd could have been a menace to society, and he also could have died unjustly and savagely in front of the world. Did you hear what I said? Two things can be absolutely true at the same time. Okay. He could have been a menace to society, and he could have also died unjustly under the knee of a maniac. Both things can be true. I didn't think he should have been martyred, but yes, I think Derek Chauvin should spend the rest of his natural born life in prison. I can't even believe that Derek Chauvin got moved to another prison to be closer to his family, right? That's too convenient for me. It's too much of a favor. He should have died like an animal in a cell, suffering without his parents seeing him. Who cares, right? So with that said, Kanye is not a medical examiner, okay? Kanye did not perform an autopsy on George Floyd. He cannot say, because he saw Candace say, that the knee did not kill George Floyd. He cannot say that. So I don't know about you, but George Floyd's family is upset now. And they're starting to mention the name Alex Jones and Kanye West. You guys are wondering how. Remember, Alex Jones just lost a case regarding Sandy Hook. Remember, Alex Jones was saying Sandy Hook wasn't real. It was a hoax. All those little children didn't really get slaughtered in school. It was all a lie, right? That's what Alex Jones was saying, kept repeating it, right? So finally, the families sued him, and he lost. And if you guys saw the numbers, they were big, lost in the tune of $1 billion that he has to pay, which you and I know he does not have, right? So now they're mentioning Kanye West in the same conversation. Can George Floyd's family sue Kanye West for saying what's an outright fucking lie with no evidence? Just saying, no, that was if you watch him, what Kanye said, if you watch him, the cop's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. Kanye said, if you watch the video, his knee wasn't even on his neck like that. Right? So I watched the same video the world watched. It was almost 8 minutes. It was almost 8 minutes that the cop's knee was on George Floyd's neck, whether or not George Floyd was high that day or drunk that day. Not only was the cop's knee on his neck, but he had other cops on his back. But Kanye said, the cop's knee wasn't even on his neck like that because, if you watch the documentary that Candace Owens made, she was in, So does George Floyd's family have a right to sue Kanye West for saying that's not how their loved one really died? Especially with a case like George Floyd's, which was high profile, and we all saw that death happen. For those painstaking, minute after minute after minute after minute. Can they sue Kanye West, and do you think they have a case? Now again, Nori got a lot of backlash. Nori's rebuttal is that he's black. That is what Nori said. He's black. So he's down with the people. And he's not down with, what Kanye said. He believes in freedom of speech, but he's black. And he supports Tamika Mallory. And he called Mason the other day. Right? There's always this pressure on brown people or people that are mixed, right? Because there are such things as mixed race people, right? There's always this pressure for them to prove how black they are to the consensus. And part of the consensus is that one drop rule. Massa said you got one drop, you's a nigga like me, right? You got them people. And then you got the people over here. You ain't black. Unless your mama black and your daddy black, you ain't black. Then you got those people over here. Then you got the trolls somewhere in the middle. You're a tether. Then you got those people in the middle. But there's always this thing, you notice, revolving around the word black. The word black has become a trigger word, right? It's a trigger word now. Who's using it? Is a person using black too light to play this dark-skinned person role? Who's using it? Is a person using black married to a white woman? Who's using that word black? We, the black delegation, demand to know who's using it today. So either you're not black enough, you're too black, half black don't count, or half black does count. So Nori saying that he's black, because saying black was enough. He had to black. And I guess him saying that he supports Tamika Mallory, who's the epitome of blackness now. Did you not know? If you didn't get the memo, apparently knowing Tamika Mallory and supporting Tamika Mallory is the prerequisite for blackness, right? Every year, the prerequisite, the requirement for blackness changes. So apparently, according to Nori, today, knowing and supporting Tamika Mallory means he's black. Oh, and calling Mason. Because he did say that too. He was like, yeah, I just called Mason the other day. Don't get it twisted. I'm black. Right? Okay, Nori. I guess. So I presume he's saying that to absolve him from whatever derogatory statements of anti-blackness Kanye uttered during the Drink Champs interview. Right? Because people want the views, people want the spins. We all do, right? Especially if you're monetized. Nori's show has, sponsors and shit like that. So we want that, that them spins and them views. We want those eyes on us. But Nori was like, hey, I believe in this freedom of speech thing. But I want y'all to know I'm black, blackity, black. I support Tamika Mallory. So guys, if you are a light-skinned black person, I want you to know today, in case you didn't get the memo, because I know the memos go out every week on blackness, and you may have been busy doing your laundry or something, but I caught it for you. If you ever get questioned that you're too light-skinned for your community, I want you to know that all you got to say now is that you support Tamika Mallory. Yeah. So Nori is now distancing himself from the whole Kanye fiasco on Drink Champs. And he's like, hey, I believe in freedom of speech, but I never want to do anything or partake in anything that hurts other people. And I was gonna wear, the Black Lives Matters t-shirt. I even called Mason and tried to get that t-shirt so I could wear it during the Drink Champs interview. But Mason didn't get back to me, so I didn't have the t-shirt on. Can you believe that people are saying shit like this? Do you remember back in the day when people would try to pass for being white, right? Or want to not be black, right? You remember them days? Now everybody is like trying to prove how black they are because they don't want to be attacked, right? By the delegation, whoever those people are. I don't know if it's Black Twitter or Black YouTube, I don't know. Remember back in the day when people were like, "No, I'm not black." Now everybody's like, "I'm blackity black, black, black." I have every PE album, damn it. So the video is down. Nori apologized to George Floyd's family. I don't know if you think the apology is warranted or not. I don't know if he should have apologized. Kanye sure as hell is not going to apologize. But I guess Nori looked back at it. He was like, we don't edit anything. We don't edit anything. That's just how it came out. But from this moment forward, we're going to start editing. We're going to start editing things. We didn't know what Kanye was going to say. And we all know Kanye is he's a recluse. He's uncontrollable, and that's why people love him. He's controversial. Um, so if you guys sat there for the 3 hours of Drink Champs, you could drop in the chat what you thought of it. I'm not giving that man 3 hours. I'm a very cynical person. I hate wasting time. There's nothing I loathe more than wasting time. And I can only give 3 hours straight to something that I'm going to learn from or is super, super, super entertaining to me. That's going to fill me with joy, like watching Avatar or a Black Panther. Like it has to be something that's going to fill me with joy or knowledge. I cannot sit and watch a man ramble for 3 hours about the system he's in bed with. I cannot do it. You guys go ahead and do it. What's funny is that people are like, yo, you gotta watch the Kanye's the new Dame Dash. Like Dame Dash called, he wants his stick back. Dame is calling. He wants his stick back. If you notice, the words that are buzzing now on social media regarding Kanye West is he's dropping a lot of knowledge on corporate. Listen to Kanye. He's dropping a lot of knowledge on corporate America and the Jewish people and how them banks run and what happens with money. Like, same exact thing that we've heard people say about Dame Dash. And it's amusing to me because it comes from a humongous demographic of motherfuckers that will never be in corporate America or in business or anywhere near. They're not even going to walk into the corporate buildings where these Jewish people and the Kanye West and the Jay-Z's and the Warren Buffetts and the Bezos and the Trump. You guys, everybody calm down. Calm down. What is Kanye spilling that's going to benefit you? Do tell. Because I'm here for the arguments, the debates, the rebuttals, the retorts. I'm here for all of it. Do tell. After you watch Kanye for those 3 hours ramble on about the same system he's in bed with and became wealthy with, do tell how you're going to benefit after those 3 hours. I'm so willing to listen. Are you going to get into the stock market? What's going to happen? Are you going to invest in your children? Are they going to be trust fund babies? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to take your money out of Chase Bank? What are you going to do? Do you just if it's just you like living vicariously through people? I fucking get it. It's fun living vicariously through people. But the endless arguments that go on online, sorry, they're laughable. Kanye dropping gems about that corporate shit. Okay, what gems? What are you doing with that information? You guys couldn't even get through reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad 20 years ago. But now Kanye's dropping all this knowledge that's going to help you. Like, what is going on? What are we doing here? So Kanye's the new Dame Dash. A wealthy man complaining about the white people and the Jewish people he's in bed with. And here's the yummy twist. If you guys also haven't heard, Kanye is now set to buy Parler. You guys know what Parler is? It's the right-wing conservative free speech platform where all the Republicans and conservatives and everybody goes there and they talk freely about the system. Yeah. And guess who owns Parler? Take a guess. Candace Owens' hubby. The plot twist. Cue thunder and lightning sounds and mystery music. Dun, dun, dun. Candace Owens' husband owns Parler. And Kanye West feels like that's going to be his new home now because people deserve to speak freely about whatever they want, whenever the fuck they want. Remember, he's going DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people and the establishment and those fucking tyrants at Adidas that robbed him from those space shoes he made. So his next venture is buying Parler. If you guys saw my thumbnail, it said, are women going to be the demise of Kanye West? Now remember, he was all up the Kardashians' ass, right? Dude was Kanye Kardashian for a couple years. She wasn't Kim West. He was Kanye Kardashian. Right? And I guess she kicked him to the curb and gave him his name back. Now he's Kanye West again. He's no longer Kanye Kardashian. Or Ye. My bad. We got to call him Ye now. So according to Kanye, the Kardashians are trying to destroy him now. And they kidnapped his children. He didn't know where his children were. Can you imagine that? The most recognizable family in America. America's sweethearts. No matter how many dicks they suck on live television, the Kardashians are America's sweethearts. They are the fiber of America. The Kardashian girls are the fiber, right? Now, according to Kanye, they're trying to destroy him and kidnap his children. So the most recognizable family in the United States of America kidnapped his children. Kidnapped them. He didn't know where they were for the party. They were having a party, and he didn't know where the party was. So Kanye insists that those Kardashians kidnapped his children. He didn't know where they were. And then a couple hours later, you know, they're posting videos and pictures and he's at the party. But on Drink Champs, he's saying, oh, yeah, I didn't say anything when the Kardashians kidnapped my children. So let me get this straight. And you guys love the pick better, right? You guys love saying that shit. Pick better. Stop picking the Pookies and Ray Rays, right? You guys love saying that shit to women. So you knowingly married a sex worker. And don't clap back at me about Kim Kardashian's not a sex worker. Go fucking look up the definition of sex worker before you clap back at me. A sex worker includes all sex work, prostitution, porn. She knowingly and willingly sold a tape with her having sex with a man, and then she made another tape at the behest of her mama because they needed a better version to sell to Vivid Entertainment. That is a sex worker, mi gente. So Kanye West picked this sex worker and put her on a pedestal. And I quote, the most beautiful woman in the world. That is what Kanye said about Kim Kardashian. The most beautiful woman in the world. And ooh, did he parade that motherfucker? Ooh, did he parade him some Kim Kardashian? Did he let y'all know? Did he let y'all know he had some Kardashian on him? Knocked her up. 1, count with me. 2, come on now. 3, yeah, we're not done. 4 times. Knocked her up 4 times. 1 time it was a surrogate, but still, that was his sperm. So fast forward, Kanye West wants people to defend him. And don't say, oh, he don't want people to defend him. He's just saying that. No, he literally said, you guys weren't saying anything when the Kardashians kidnapped my children. In other words, he wants you to speak up about that. He wants you to feel his pain and be mad at him because the Kardashians kidnapped his children, right? You know what I say? I'm going to take a page out of your books. Pick better. Pick better. She was a sex worker when you met her. I mean, you should have picked better. Your first girlfriend was divine. She was lovely. No sex tapes available. Wasn't a porn star. You could have stayed with her. Could have married a librarian. Could have married a doctor. Could have married a nurse. Could have married a CEO of another company. You wanted the sex worker. You got her. There it is. Right? So on his rant, he wants the sympathy from you guys because he's a victim of the Kardashians. Now he's about to buy Parler. So I'm asking, along with Kim Kardashian doing hello, come up on him, right? 4 kids, shit. If anything ever happens to her money, she's set, right? Unless Kanye fucks up his money. So let's talk about Kanye's money real quick. According to Forbes, according to the internet, and we don't really fucking know, right? We hear these numbers and then we go running to Facebook like, oh, Kanye's the first guy who made $2 billion in America. He's black, right? We just share this shit. We don't know if it's fucking true or not. We're not in his bank account. We don't know how Forbes works. A lot of celebrities have said, do not look at my net worth on Google because that shit's bullshit. I wish I had that much money. Depends on who you ask, right? Allegedly, supposedly, Kanye West is worth $2 billion. Now, I tried to research how much Parler is worth. It wasn't clear. So to all my tech heads in there, if you have legit numbers as to how much Parler is worth, please drop it in the chat or I'll drop the link and you guys can come up. But word, okay, on the tech streets is that Parler is worth $1 billion. Now, let's do the math. Okay, and this is toddler math. If Kanye West is worth $2 billion, is he going to give $1 billion to buy Parler? And how much is Parler worth? If you had $2 billion, would you give up $1 billion to buy Parler? Because Parler is going to let you talk about Jewish people and the establishment and those Adidas corporate execs who are doing you wrong. By the way, you guys know the difference between liquid and cash and all of that, right? I'm sure you do. So when Kanye West says, I'm the richest man and I'm worth, what does that mean exactly? $2 billion cold hard cash, $2 billion in endorsements, $2 billion in deals. I read something that was interesting earlier. It says currently Ye's net worth is a reported $2 billion. Recently, though, some of his lucrative brand partnerships are drying up. He no longer works with Gap. He no longer works with JP Morgan Chase, and Adidas is reviewing their business relationship. Did you hear what I just said? Gap told him fuck off. JP Morgan Chase told him fuck off. Adidas is about to tell him fuck off. Adidas is not moving forward with all this controversy and him doubling down, and there's no apology attached to this Negro. So he's a problem. And do you think that Adidas needs Kanye? Do you think that Adidas needs Kanye? Adidas. Adidas. So is he playing a very risky game? Is he cutting off his nose to spite his face? Is he a wealthy brat just throwing tantrums about shit that doesn't concern us at all? When he talks about we and how the system is blah, blah, I always look at, it's very reminiscent of Monique. When Monique complains about how they're doing Black people, she usually means herself. If you notice. When Monique's, I love us for real. We, the people, are being done wrong by Netflix, so we should boycott Netflix, right? I'm curious, little bunny. So I get to searching. So I was like, let me see what this us and we, these people keep talking about. There's a lot of us and we when things are good. There's a lot of us and we. I love us. I love us for real, right? So I get to searching, Googling. I'm throwing Monique's name in different search bars. I'm looking for Monique charity work, Monique philanthropy, Monique nonprofit. I'm putting the word Monique before every type of situation where you could be a person that's giving back to the community. Monique philanthropy, Monique mentorships, Monique, I'm searching for this us that she loves. I love us for real. I'm searching for the us. Where's Monique charity work? Did she go back to her old high school? I'm looking. I'm turning pages. Zero. Nothing. Zip, zilch, nothing, nada. No encontré. No hay. Se acabó. Kanye, what happened to Donda's house? Anybody know? I want to know what happened to Donda's house. Anybody know what happened to Donda's house? Somebody help me out. So it seems that there's a certain type of celebrity that when their buddies rub them the wrong way in business, they come running out to the public that they usually ignore. Let's keep it a hundo. That they usually ignore. And they want your support. And because people of color are always down and out, bottom of the barrel, not expected to do much with it's so easy for people to draw you in with the words we and us. They know how vulnerable you are in this country because of systematic oppression and racism. They know you already have a fucking chip on your shoulder because you've been done wrong in America, right? I said before, living in America as a person of color, you fucking suffer from PTSD. Even if you've never been shot at, even if you've never been slapped in the mouth, even if you've never been beat up, living in this country as a person of color is enough to give you PTSD from the time that you're born. It is in your fucking psyche. It is interwoven into your person because you're constantly being portrayed on television, in media, in magazines, in music videos by your own people, okay, as less than. Constantly. continuously. As a very young child, you're constantly being seen and looking at yourself as a thug and a killer in the news and the rapper and black women on dog leashes and getting champagne bottles poured on them, and the guy in the 50 Cent series and this, and we're thug and black is terrible, and your skin and you're dark and your nose is too big and your hair is too constantly from yay high. If that doesn't cause PTSD like a motherfucker, I don't know what does. So this billionaire, Kanye West, wants you, who just got pulled over by the cops because you're in your brand new Mercedes Benz, he wants you to put up a fight with him against that system that resulted in the Kardashians kidnapping his children and taking his children that were kidnapped to their $100,000 birthday party. Have you seen the pictures of that birthday party they allegedly kidnapped his kids to? I'm just curious. Go ahead and knock yourself out. Google North or South or West or downtown, whatever his kids' names are. Google their birthday parties, just for shits and giggles. Go on. And I want you to see the pictures, okay, that you find of where his kids were taken after they were kidnapped. I want you to see where his kids were when he was looking for them, aimless. Oh my God, where am I? I can't find my children. The Kardashians have taken them. I want you to Google Kardashian children birthday parties. Just for fun. Now, with that said, I'm not the type of person that's mad at wealthy people or mad at rich people. Get it how you fucking live. If you took nothing, if you came from nothing and turned that shit into $1 billion fucking dollars, you deserve all the salute in the world, because I salute the rank. I don't have to fucking salute the man. And the problem with you guys is you salute the man because he's attached to money. And you have to separate those two. Because if not, it's easy for you to be fucking bamboozled, because you don't separate the success from the asshole that was successful. And those are two different things. That is how Kanye West has all of you arguing about how right he is, when it has nothing to do with you. You will never be in a contract fisticuffs with Jewish networks. You will never be in a contract fisticuffs with Adidas. Yet he has you all campaigning for him online. What are you getting? It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to die on a hill about it. You motherfuckers are going in about this That's right. Look at him. That's right. Don't let the white man in it. That's right. Look what he's saying. Now, fuck that. People are getting blocked on social media. You're having debates with your family about it, because he used the word we and us. And then, for good measure, he wears a White Lives Matter t-shirt. And then, after we all mourned George Floyd because it was horrific, as desensitized as we are, because we watch murders all day on Instagram and people falling out of planes and getting run over by cars and shot at parties. We watch that all fucking day long. For some reason, the fucking murder of George Floyd is something that we will carry forever now. Though we watch fucking death all day on social media. But it brought up so many emotions and feelings to watch a man cry for his life and nobody did anything. And this fucking spoiled brat gets on Drink Champs with his rich boy tantrums and says with abandon, well, you know, the cop's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. If you watch the video, it wasn't. I mean, I saw the Candace Owens documentary. The cop's knee wasn't even on his neck like that, if you ask me. But you know, who's asking me? I have to. I'm gonna be on a jet later. But I just wanted to let you guys know what I saw from the angle I was looking at. His knee wasn't even on his neck like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But let me go over here and give this white boy $1 billion of my money so I could buy this app so I could talk shit about people all day. What are y'all doing? I'm always on here asking y'all, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Am I saying boycott Kanye? No. I'm an atheist. I love me some Jesus walks. Don't get it fucking twisted. I love me some Jesus motherfucking walks. No Church in the Wild is my fucking theme song. What's a God to a non-believer? Niggas in Paris? What? I love me some Kanye production. But you have to get out of this fucking celebrity worship because somebody makes you fucking dance a jig or feel good, or there's somebody that should be campaigned for. That to me is bizarre. Like, do you need leaders that bad? Are you hurting for leaders that bad that any clown will do? And that's really what perturbs me. Not that people are Kanye fans. I'm a fucking fan of a lot of Kanye's music. Not all, but I'm a fan of a lot of his music. But you put people on a pedestal when they're just using you. Where's Monique now? I love us for real. And I'm using her as an example because I feel like Kanye's doing the same fucking thing. The only time you're going to hear from Monique again is, guess what? If shit goes awry working with 50 Cent, because now she's working with 50 Cent again, and she could play that shit with 50. But 50 will fucking drag her to filth via his Instagram alone. So I guarantee she's going to watch her P's and Q's over there with Kanan and them and the power books. I'm sure she's gonna watch her lip over there. Because we all know 50 gonna do what 50 does, right? But now she's happy. She's making her money. You notice you haven't heard shit from Monique? Not a fucking peep from a place called Queens. You haven't heard one fucking peep from Monique? Why? Because she's putting money in her account right now. That's why you haven't heard Monique talk about she love us for free. Baby, she love us. That's why you haven't. Would you be hearing from Kanye if Adidas wasn't dicking him? Would you be hearing from Kanye if Adidas wasn't dicking him? Would you be hearing from Kanye if Kris Kardashian wasn't dicking him? Would you be hearing from Kanye? Or Kris Jenner, is her fucking name Jenner? If Kris Jenner wasn't dicking him, would you be hearing from him? If his children weren't getting kidnapped and taken in their fucking limo to a $100,000 birthday party, would we be hearing from Kanye? Would you be hearing from him? And that's my issue with him, is that he's a fucking walking contradiction. To me, I don't have to watch 3 hours of him on Drink Champs. It is very simple for me. From my vantage point, it is bedwenching gone bad. It happens. Some of you call it the what do you call it? The nigga wake up call. Is what happens when bedwenching goes bad. That's really all it is. It's not complex. It's not a mystery. We've seen this happen before. We've seen it happen to Omarosa. We've seen it happen to Stacey Dash. Candace Owens is the only one that's doing it and doing it well thus far. But she ain't no dummy. She went and got knocked up not once but twice by that white man. And he owns Parler. She knows how to play her fucking bedwench position. And I don't even have anything against her. She's a broke clock. At least twice a day, she's making some fucking sense. She's speaking to people with defeatist mentalities and telling them what to do to fucking get up and out of the gutter. Gotta give her credit for that. She's entertaining. And not only that, she's pandering to white people and getting money from white people. I ain't got no beef with Candace. And now she gave this idiot, this billionaire, the apple. She shined up her bedwench apple and handed it to this fool. And now Kanye, the fool, the fucking court jester, but the new scholar, according to y'all, because he's giving y'all a lot of information about corporate America and what he's saying is true. He the new David Dash, right? Gives him the fucking apple, stuffs it in his mouth like swine, and presents him on a silver platter to who? To her husband. And you mean to tell me you're not going to respect that motherfucker's G? See, I thought Kris Jenner was good pimping people. Because Kris Jenner literally pimped 2 generations of women. Her kids with Robert Kardashian and her kids with Bruce Jenner. To the tune of billions of dollars. Don't give a fuck about them bitches, but you got to salute the rank, right? You got to salute the rank. And you can say whatever the fuck you want to say about Candace Owens. She has more power than you. Why? Because she don't give a fuck what you say about her. That wide-eyed, obnoxious, smart-ass motherfucker just made the deal of a lifetime with y'all's hero. And you're going to tell me that motherfucker ain't a G? She got more G than a lot of you calling her a coon. She's about to close $1 billion fucking deal for her white husband, which keeps the money in-house, whether he divorces her or not, because she has 2 kids by him. And all y'all got in the chat boxes is that she's a coon. You better take fucking notes then. Because while Kanye West is going on is, I don't want nobody to say anything to me. Look how free I am. I'm a free black man. Look at the S on my chest. I'm a free black man. He's going on his tour, getting shut down everywhere. Candace and her hubby, they're at the table with their fork and their knife. Like, time to eat. Tell that motherfucker whatever the fuck you gotta tell him. He's fucking egotistical. He's not right in his head. He's worried about his fucking kids. Get that money. Keep telling y'all want smart women in your lives. Y'all want intelligent women in your lives. There's nothing more powerful than a smart and intelligent woman in your life. She will double your shit. Okay? I don't care if you slinging rock or slinging corporate America. You get you a smart, intelligent woman, she's going to double your shit. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that was the master fucking plan of a lifetime. That's what you should be studying. Not Kanye West's tantrums. Not Kanye West complaining about his bedwenching gone bad. All eyes should be on Candace motherfucking Owens. Made a fortune off of pandering to white people. Married white people. Knocked up by white people. Then turns back and gets the first black billionaire in America to come out his pocket For her, basically. For her. Because she's married to Parler. Literally and figuratively. But all you guys got for her is Gia Coon. Y'all be all up Dame Dash's ass. Yeah, but he said, yo, he dropping down. He dropping. It's all up and down my fucking Facebook timeline. He dropped, yo, Dame Dash, yo, you heard what he said about business? Mm-hmm. You heard what he said about being a boss? Now you've tried, because Dame been quiet for a little while. Now Kanye's the new savior of business and your investments. I don't know, whatever those investments may be. I don't know what they are. And with all of that, with all the shit he's talking on what the fuck isn't that cracker's name? Tucker Carlson, Tucker, whatever the fuck. All the shit he's talking on there. All the doubling down he did on Drink Champs. And who slithered right up to his fucking pocket? Candace Owens. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? You spent a fucking lifetime making billions. And the chick everybody loves to hate is running your pockets, fool. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. You spent a lifetime fighting with first Black executives and rappers who thought you weren't shit. Got past that. Almost died in a car accident. Got past that. Got signed. Got past that. Beefing with Jay-Z. Got past that. Got all the way up to making fucking deals at Gap and Adidas, and it got past that. And little old Candace Owens is running out pockets, bitch. You better respect Black women. See all that shit y'all talk? You better respect them. If that shit wasn't the best power play of 2022, you give me one better. You give me a better power play than what Candace Owens just did to Kanye West. You give me one better, throw it in the motherfucking chat. I will pull you up here on this panel. You give me one better. I'm waiting. I'm all ears. I want to hear a bigger power play than that. And all she had to do was wear a t-shirt. All she had to do was wear a t-shirt and tell Kanye he has every right to talk about them Jews. Matter of fact, Kanye, you do know hubby has Parler. Have you heard of Parler? No, what's Parler? Honey, let me tell you about Parler. Yes, we get to say whatever we want over there. When you want to check it out, I'll send you an email. Going right over. You better put some respect on Candace. Whoa. Damn. Shit. Like I said, it's been a very, very interesting week in Kanye news. The plot is going to continue to thicken. It's going to continue to thicken. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. I'm going to drop this link. You guys want to come up for a little bit. Any information you guys may have that I don't have. If you did watch the 3 hours, let me know what all I missed that was profound and mind-blowing that Kanye said. Let me know, because I like being aghast, you know what I mean, of news and taken aback. So if you guys watched the 3 hours and I missed something that you felt was important to this conversation, please share that with me. I'm going to stroll through the chat real quick. I don't see no super chats, so mama's feeling away. I'm giving you all this great information. I'm serving it up. Okay, hot. So I would appreciate some love. I'm going to drop the link. Please come on up. This is getting interesting, man. This is getting interesting. I just dropped the link. Come on up here. Haran has some great commentary on regarding that whole Parler thing. I don't know if he's here. But I dropped the link. Let me check and see who was texting me real quick while you guys are coming up. Yada yada, wah wah wah, blah blah blah. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Okay, guys. I see World Kings is in the back. I'm gonna bring him up. Just making sure nobody's trying to hit me because I be on here a while and people be texting me. Okay, guys. So let's get this party started. I see World Kings in the back. Let me see what he got to say. And while he's talking, thank you so much for the super chat, Afro Universe. I appreciate you. Somebody loves me, damn it. Ain't nobody else doing this or talking like this on fucking YouTube, okay? Nobody. Everybody's blowing smoke up your ass one way or another. Giving you the real all the time. Thank you for the super chat. Tristan!
Did you just bully that man into $10?
I did not. I asked nicely. World Kings, Giovanna Washington. How are you, Mama?
What's the word?
Hey, everybody.
What
Tristan. I think that's Tristan up there. I think that's my brother Haran up there.
No,
Peace and blessings.
I'm mad
Haran's
at
Haran's not here yet, Miss Juana.
But I know that's my man Tristan up there. But Jen, thank you so much for letting me up so quickly. Yes. I was just looking at the etymology of the word Semitic. You know, anti-Semitic is supposedly anti-Jewish, as if there's only a certain type of people who are of that faith. Somehow the term Jewish has been used to denote a race, which I don't agree with. There's only one human race. But for the sake of the conversation, if there is a race, Jewishness has been turned into meaning a race. But when I'm looking at the etymology of the word Semitic, at the very last sentence, not the definition, I'm talking about the etymology, that's the seed of a word. Mm-hmm. That's what etymology means, the seed or the origin of a word. At the very last sentence, it says a subgroup of African Asiatic cultures. Okay. So when a person who classifies themselves as Black says that something against the so-called Jewish faith or people, mm-hmm. as being and they're deemed as anti-Semitic, it's an oxymoron. And this is what Ye and that other brother who has like 10 million children. He used to be married to Mariah Carey, and he had to walk back some comments because the people in that group got on him. Now he has something to lose. Kanye possibly has something to lose if he doesn't manage this right. But Jay Washington doesn't have anything to lose by saying that that is the most ridiculous notion, mm-hmm. that a person who's classified as Black, mm-hmm. could be anti-Semitic, because you're saying that would be that person is anti themselves, because to be Semitic is to be a mixture of people of a certain area, a certain phenotypes and mixture of cultures. My point is, Nick Cannon was correct when he spoke, but he had to walk those things back. People who are not classified as Black originally are not Jews. These are converted faiths, people who converted in their faith. So for Kanye to be, castrated as saying that he has been said some things that were anti-Semitic, it's just ridiculous, and it's an oxymoron. And I don't want to take up too much time to go into that, but
Okay, so
maybe someone else on the panel or in the chat can help me out. And I'm not a 1%, 5%er. I'm not a member of the NOI. I'm not an Israelite. I'm just a common sense chick, okay? I'm just a common sense chick who knows a little bit about languages and words and history and political science. And it's just ridiculous.
Okay, so here, all right. So I'm gonna explain why it's not ridiculous. First, Rick, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Turn up, mi gente. You got me. No need to push, chill."
Robbing
I gotta
people.
twist your arms for the super chats. I gotta twist your arms. So, Juwan, I get what you're saying. That is correct. But here's the thing: there's a demographic of Black people that when they say the Jews and Jewish, they're talking about the Caucasians or the white people that wear the little hats. They're not talking about people that are yelling on the corner, right? When you walk by, when you're shopping,
no, those are
yelling on the corner, like we're the original Black. That's not who Kanye is talking about. So in his mind, he's not thinking I'm talking about myself. He's talking about the Jewish people he thinks control.
No, that's what he said though.
He wants to be in control of himself.
That's what he said. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jim, but that's what he said on the interview. He said, how can I be anti? So Joanna was absolutely correct. He said, how can I be anti-Semitic when I'm a Semite? How can I be anti-Semite when I am a Semite? He said that on the interview.
Right, but it doesn't make sense for him to say that because he's not talking about the Semites. He's talking about the Jewish people.
Well, he's saying that those aren't Jews. He's saying that those aren't the real Jews, is what he said.
But see, then we get into semantics because people say, well, I'm not Black. Well, I'm FBA. Well,
this is what he said, though. We're going off what he said.
I know, but he's a walking contradiction. He's always been. Always been.
Jim.
And that's wherein lies.
No, I was just speaking to the fact of what Joanna was saying was absolutely correct because he said his exact words were, how can I be anti-Semitic when I'm a Semite myself? So that's just what she was saying.
And then don't address them as Jews. Don't say you're going to go DEFCON 3 on Jews. Say I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on those white people that are against. He used the word Jews.
Excellent point.
That's what he knows what he's talking about.
Wait a minute. Excellent point, Jim.
You know what he's saying.
I know.
You can't, but you can't assume this. You can't assume this. Jen is right. I'm very precise about.
We know who
words
he's talking about, though. We know who he's talking about.
But you cannot.
We know who he's talking about.
Who is he talking about?
The same people that, like she said, had Nick Cannon apologize.
Okay,
Ice Cube had Ice Cube. Hold on, back in the day, that had Ice Cube apologize.
Right, so he's not talking about the Israelites on the corner that are yelling they're Black and they're Jews.
That's not them. No.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, let's untuck our nuts today. Just for today, let's untuck our nuts. Right?
Oh, my nuts stay untucked.
We're good. We know damn well who Nick Cannon, Kanye West was referring to. When people talk about Hitler in the same conversation, we know damn well no one's talking about the guys in the purple dresses that yell at you when you're shopping for Christmas gifts.
I agree with Jen on this point. He should have been more precise. He should have been surgically precise and precision in his language as to whom he was speaking.
No, Saint, what were you gonna say?
Well, no, I just thought I understood what Joanna Washington was saying, but to me, what I was going at is, okay, you can't be, I understand, I've heard all the I'm like you, Jen. I'm a non-believer, so all this is a bunch of fairy tale stuff anyway. But okay, you know, you can be Semite, fine. Doesn't mean what he said wasn't like Jen saying, wasn't directed at a certain people who throughout history. This isn't just 1935, 30 or 1929 to 45. This is like throughout history have been attacked through the same tropes of they control everything. You know, they do have a lot of influence in Hollywood. They do have a lot of influence, but they don't control everything. And there's a reason why they got into Hollywood. If you look back in the Nazi Germany days, they got the people that were producing the films there happened to be Jewish. They got ran out of there over here and went into Hollywood. So there's a lot of nepotism in Hollywood. So I mean, but the whole thing is, the point is that what he said, he wasn't saying, well, basically when he said it, he was being anti-Semitic towards the people that most people think are the Jews, or whatever you want to say, the Ashkenazi,
the Zionists, whatever you call them,
whatever you want to say. But he wasn't. So when he's saying, it's almost like, you know, if I was being racist and I said, well, I'm not racist, I got a black friend.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what I mean?
I was going to use that example.
Yeah. Some of my best friends are black.
Right.
It's like he's talking about black people and then saying, wait a minute, I'm Afro-Latina. So I'm not racist. I'm Afro-Latina. How can I be racist if I'm Afro? It's the same thing. But that's what I mean about Kanye. He's a walking contradiction. He's in bed with the people that he claims are doing him wrong. He is not well. He is not
and,
well.
and let me just also say that I am not a Kanye West fan or anything. I'm just a common sense type person. I'm not, you know, caping for him, or I'm not, you know, I do cape for Candace Owens.
Oh,
she should run for president.
Wow, you talk about a contradiction.
I want to fight tonight. Joanna said, what happened?
She's a walking contradiction as well, but she does it for money. I understand.
Yeah, and let's make it clear. I can't, you know, if I do work for somebody, and I go in and, you know, start talking about their mama or their wife, or say the kid's ugly, I'm going to pay the consequence, or I'm going to back down. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's everybody. That's just not Hollywood.
Yeah,
and I will go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Then he says Drake is his favorite rapper, a half black Jew.
I think that it's something, because Nori sure took that interview down, and I don't believe he should have took it down, because he said himself. He said, "This isn't the political champs. This is the drink champs."
Right.
You go on there, they sit up there, get fucked up, and they sit up there and they talk about their careers, and they talk about, you know, what's going on in the culture. He should not be held to no standard of having to please everybody. That's his platform. He should be able to let him on there and let him say what he needs to say. That should not reflect on him. Yeah, so now he's getting backlash for that.
But do you feel the same of an Alex Jones and a Trump when they're bashing black people? Or do you feel that? Do you feel like, hey, free speech, they could say what they want, it's their platform?
No, I believe if you let them on your platform, then you let them on your platform. That's your platform. That's just like you, Jen. You can invite Kanye up. Can anybody stop him from coming on your platform if you want him to be here?
No, I'm saying,
you invited that man there knowing he was going to say some shit. You knew he was going to say some shit.
No, that's not my question. That's not my question. Would you be okay if it was not Kanye West, but an Alex Jones or a Trump talking badly about black people? Would you not look at Nori and say, why are you letting him? Why don't you check him? Because remember, that's what people love saying.
No.
Why don't you check him?
Because then again, it's called drink champs. It's not this big old politically inclined platform like that.
Okay.
It's not no serious platform like that. Nori is not no politician in the least bit.
Okay.
He's an entertainer. This is entertainment.
Okay. Because I know that gets
so no, I wouldn't. He could give Donald Trump all the rest of them. A lot of people have had David Duke on their platform. That's their platform.
Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with him, but I mean, you can't stop somebody from getting on a platform. I just believe Nori should have stood on that, and he should have not allowed them the pressure, the outside pressure, to cause him to delete the whole interview. When you knew when he came on there, he was gonna say some wild shit.
But then we get into a conversation of ownership. Does Nori own Drink Champs?
No.
Well, then
And that's the point. See,
But I
and this
believe
is
he had the power though because
No,
he
did
went
he
on an
say take
apology
it
tour.
down? Did he say take it down?
He went on an apology tour.
who?
As he should have.
Nori.
Yeah.
No, he should not have. He should have stood on what he did. He invited that man on there knowing that something like this was going to happen.
See, and this is the thing, right? Everybody knows that's a business.
exactly.
So I'm gonna
So
ask y'all something.
they're hold on. They're kind of playing into the fact that maybe on this point Kanye may have may have some validity to what he's saying. Because all of a sudden, why is everybody so scared now? What I mean, like,
I'll explain it.
Because I'm not losing no money. I'm not gonna lose no money over Kanye West.
Thank you.
That's it.
It can be
yeah, they were gonna
explained.
make more money than they were gonna lose. That thing had like 2 million views in a day. They were gonna make more money than they were gonna lose.
Probably not, because
They were.
they don't want the problems.
Do you
Like,
know
he's
who
not-
control? If Google says, "Hey, this video is gonna make this amount of money," they can't do nothing about it. Google can decide whether anybody can get paid any certain amount of money for any certain video. If Google were to say, "Yo, I'm not messing with this. I think this causes hate speech," blah blah blah, that 2 million views is $0.
That's not what was going to happen. They were going to make money off of that. The outside
How?
pressure made
How?
him
Okay, how are they gonna make money off of that video?
the same way he made money off the Boosie interview, off the rest of the interviews.
Okay, every video is monetized, right? Jen, does every video that you have different prices every time?
So then why did Tucker Carlson take him off of his interview?
He did edit some of it.
He edited it and saved them. Actually, he saved
didn't take
Kanye.
it, but he put clips out as well. Everybody saw what he said on there. This is what I'm saying. Why didn't he do it? They're trying to blackball the boy, but somebody's going to allow him to go up there. My main point is Nori should have stood on that. He should have stood on that, and he should have never went on no apology tour. They're putting too much responsibility in the hands of entertainers.
Okay.
You say that, but everybody knows how smart of a businessman LeBron James is. He didn't even air his video. He didn't even air it because he knew after they saw it, they're like, "This, no, we're not airing this." So that's on Nori's team to not be like, yo, this is a no. If you know something is bad, you don't air it.
Like, Kanye got the block hot. Kanye got the block hot, and nobody wants to be standing next to him. Kanye's the guy with the cop relatives and the cop friend.
Somebody's gonna put him up there. If it may be Candace Owens, might invite her to her platform. He's gonna be.
No, it's not. Candace Owens manipulated that man to get that deal done, and she
didn't.
Okay.
Candace Owens is not going to have Kanye on her platform saying what he said in the way that he said it, leaving it open and ended. With that being said, let me just say this, and I have no one to own up to, but I don't agree with how Kanye said what he said. I think everyone has a right to exist on this planet. And I think saying inflammatory things or hyperbolic things with not being, precise in what you mean and what you intend, just like you can't yell fire in a crowded building. There's certain things that is just unscrupulous to speak. You don't speak against children. You don't speak sexual matters with children. There's certain things you just don't speak, and there's certain things. So I don't condone, and I don't know what's in his mind. So I dare say I don't condone what Kanye said. But if he is saying how it has been taken that he said, I don't agree with that, but I do agree with his premise, his intellectual premise, leading to the fact that these people are not the original Jews, so we're not really saying anything bad against them. But over time, they have manipulated the minds of people with their power and their marketing skills for you to believe that they are what constitutes as a Jewish person. So, but with that being said, the
Yeah,
gentleman, I'm not sure who I'm not sure who was speaking, but he kept saying the word "should." He should not have walked back these comments. He should, and Nuri shouldn't have taken that particular video down. Should is misplaced and misguided because, like Tristan said, this is a business. Now, as a business person, I'm going to do what's best for my business. Everybody has to um, be held accountable um, for the market. The market will only bear what the market bears. And if the market is greater than your business, then you kowtow to that market, if that makes any sense.
yeah, it was World Kings that was saying it, but the business is who is the business? How is he going to lose money? Could it be these folks that he's speaking about, these
That's who has
so-called
the
Jews or
money.
whatever?
That's who
Could it
has the
be?
money.
Okay, so then he's telling some sort of truth because he did lie about the George Floyd thing. So, Jen, you are right. It's a big contradiction.
This is what I feel like.
Some stuff he's telling the truth on. Some stuff he's telling flat out lies. We know that man did not
Oh,
die because of fentanyl.
That's Candace Owens as well.
Candace Owens, yeah, he got that from her and the rest of them.
They
all say that. They all say that. That's
he
just
lies
like
about certain things, and a lot of the stuff he
But
says is true too.
see, here's my thing,
exactly.
right? Kanye needed to find a way to basically, how can he top slavery was a choice comments? Because his thing is to go viral.
Right.
And he over calculated and went for the Jews and realized he effed up. So what's
Well, yeah,
next?
but it
Let
wasn't
me
only that; it was the George Floyd thing too.
no,
Because
but that was after his DEF CON tweet.
no, on the
Because
Drink Champs interview, he said that George Floyd comments too.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
another reason why he's getting this backlash as well. So I don't want to just put it on the so-called Jews or whatever.
Yeah,
He
because they're
said
already
that.
talking about the family is very upset, as they should be. I wanted to respond to Rochelle. I don't know if she's in here. She said that she didn't. She was like, George Floyd was being martyred. Where was I? The man has statues of him up. I don't know if you know that, but he has statues of him up. He was also buried in a gold casket. He was martyred. He was on T-shirts. He was martyred, very much so.
I think all Kanye had to do was just mind his business. Just shut up. Like you want so much attention so bad that you're losing your mind. Like we watching, him and Will Smith are having mental breakdowns, and I'm like, like I want to say, you need to get help, but I'm like, you deserve all this shit y'all getting. Like at the same time, it's like y'all doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing.
Right. What I don't understand, Tristan, is this, right? He can feel however he want about the Jews, the white ones, not the Semites and the Israelites, whatever. He can feel however he wants about them. But when, again, reminiscent of Monique, when you're telling the world, right, and putting not only your own career and other people in jeopardy, as you can see people have to take down their videos and they're getting backlash. What is the end goal? Why is he telling us how the Jews are in a business, right, that 90% of us are not in? Why is he doing the end goal?
Well,
Why
he's not saying anything new though. A lot of people have been saying this. Ice Cube was saying this back in the 90s.
What is the end goal for the billionaire to tell the general public that the Jews are doing him wrong? What is the goal?
By his album. That's what it is.
Okay,
by his album.
Why should we know the Jews run everything and we can't be afraid to talk about them? What's in it for us? What is the end goal for the billionaire telling us that Adidas robbed him? What is the goal? What is the goal when Monique says boycott Netflix because they ain't pay me what I want? What is the goal? What is the end goal? That's what I'm trying to get at. Why do we need to know what they're doing to Kanye and his business? Is he going to split the money with us? If we go fight for him, is he going to start, giving out, what I mean, loan? Is he going to pay student loans? What is he going to do with those billions once we're convinced that the Jewish people are doing him wrong?
There is a certain currency among people who classify themselves as Black when you consider emotional, so-called Black people, extremely emotional, and you can make profit off of that. If he can garner the emotional energy from so-called Black people to, like Tristan says, sell more albums or clothes, just to be affiliated with someone who seems to be on our side or speaking the truth, taking it to the man, just like when he said George Bush doesn't care about Black people. Black people lost their minds because no other, except for Muhammad Ali, ever said anything that powerful, since Muhammad Ali said, no Vietnamese ever called me nigga. Likewise, he's trying to put himself up on a pedestal, knowing that these emotional so-called Black people will hold him up, and that will garner some type of currency.
And also, I believe maybe he's trying to get some of these other billionaires to come together and to come to his thinking, and maybe they put their money together and resources and power and try to overcome these people or whatever he's thinking it is. Maybe it's that. I don't know.
But he apologized about the George Bush comment.
I don't get how
Did Muhammad Ali apologize? I'm just curious.
No. Muhammad Ali said F all
no,
y'all.
He almost lost his career. He almost lost his career because of that.
To me, I think.
Did he also apologize for what he did to Miss America, Taylor Swift, when he snatched the microphone from her? Did he apologize?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he did.
I'll Google it because I know he apologized for George.
I don't know if he apologized, but he made some conciliatory statements.
He said something, but then he did something again to her, kind of. Or he said, or he mentioned her in a record or something like that.
Why can't he just make his clothes, his homeless clothes, and leave? Like, what is the problem?
He apologized to Taylor Swift. I'm looking at it here.
Man, listen. All I'm saying is, I believe Kanye went on Reddit, saw something about Hemites and Semites, went on Drink Champs, said what he said, and walked away. I swear to God, that's what he does. I think that man doesn't read a book.
He said he doesn't read. He said he doesn't read.
I think he's functionally retarded. I think that to the highest degree.
He said he's very proud of not being a reader. He said he doesn't read. Thank you for the chat, Don Levon.
And
said,
it is obvious.
Well, Kanye sounds like he have rich people problems to me.
Exactly. I'm like he talking about like, oh, all of this information that I have and nobody's listening to me. Because you're nuts. You're a nutcase. You need to be in a damn padded room at this point. Like,
and I agree with you, Tristan. But sometimes nutcases do speak a little bit margin of truth.
Oh yeah, that's true. Listen, we all know.
You ever see that? We got it.
Okay, them crazy people on the subway, they had a lot to say. I was like, oh, that's so true.
Yeah, that's true.
She yelling over there. What do you think about the Parler deal and it being supposedly worth $1 billion and Kanye's worth $2 billion? And Kanye is saying he's going to buy Parler because he believes in freedom of speech.
I think that would be, I don't know the words. I can't even garner the words, but that would be magnanimous move.
Wait,
yeah,
I believe it's profitable for him. You think them white people do him right?
Well, if it's his platform, that's what we always tell people. If you don't like something, create your own.
Exactly. And that's the only reason why a person would have to walk back any statements is because you don't own your own stuff.
Yep.
When you are running the stuff, then you can say and do what you want. I would hope that a person who's running their own stuff will
Yeah.
be more
It's like
responsible.
it's like when you were young, when you was living in your mama's house. She said, when you live in my house, you're gonna live by my rules. Once you get your
Exactly.
own house, you do what the hell you want to do.
Exactly.
I,
And that's his fault. And that's the fault of anyone who thinks that they can just, when people say, well, why? That's not fair that somebody can be canceled. It is fair,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
those people are, if they're writing your checks or if they're supporting you, they have a right to take the support away. If Jen got up here and said some hellacious stuff that I didn't agree with, I would take my support away, as would be my right. There's fair is not in it.
Yeah,
This
you're
is what
right.
the market will bear. I am the market.
So then I
She is selling to me. I am buying. When she no longer sells what I want to buy, I will not buy it. That's fair. That's America. God bless it.
so then I take that back. Y'all were right then. Nori, he did what he did what he was forced to do. In so many words, he did what he was forced to do.
if
He had to take it down.
Well,
No.
so you think being worth, if it's the complete number, you think being worth $2 billion, all these big companies that you were tied to that got you up to that $2 billion are now pulling out, pause. You think that it's smart of him to give 1 billion of that 2 billion, even though the big boys are pulling out? You think it's a smart move for him to buy Parler?
No.
$1 billion is a long money, a lot of money. He would be playing a very, 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 very long game. In the short run, no, because these people that he's pandering to, the so-called black people, they don't have the money to really support it. And black people always think that the Europeans, whatever, is better. Their ice is colder. They're not going to walk away from that this year or within 5 years. This would be a long game that Kanye would be playing. But if he played it in the long game, he could come out on top.
Yeah, I believe
Go ahead.
it's a good move for him. Just basically for, if you want to do what the hell you want to do, you need to get your own. He's seeing right now, you can't, even with that $2 billion that you got, he's seeing right now, you still can't do what the hell you want to do because these platforms aren't yours. Once you get your own platform, you can go on there and say whatever the hell you want to say on there. And then you can invite other people that want to say what the hell they want to say, because it's a whole crowd like.
Right, if they're right wing and conservative, remember that. And most black people and brown people aren't. Most of the people that consume his music are not right wingers. They're not conservative. They don't think like Candace. They hate Candace. So in order for him to make that successful, he is going to have to pander to the same people that Candace Owens is pandering to.
Well, remember what y'all keep saying tonight. Business. It's about business.
Right. No, I'm just saying that's what he's gonna have to do. He gonna
have to do some business, or he gonna have to put his business hat on.
Rick _ says it's gonna get radicalized by right-wing extremists. It's already radicalized, and the feds are gonna shut it down like they did that other app. I see that happening. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon says, I don't think Kanye will buy Parler. He don't have enough liquid cash, and it's not a good investment. Why isn't it a good investment?
Because to me, it doesn't make sense to spend $1 billion on such a small app at that.
Just because you want to say what you want to say.
Yeah,
YouTube can do that.
He can probably build it up. Remember, Facebook started small. All these apps started small.
I think it's risky for him only because, right? I'm sure, he's a black man in America. I'm sure he could get a lot of people. It's like, yeah, but I think it's risky for him because he's not as intelligent as Candace Owens. He's a loose cannon. So I think there's going to be some sort of deal where he's going to buy that shit, give them that billion, and Candace and her man are going to be running it somehow. They're going to have the puppet strings on Kanye because Kanye's too easy. He's too easy. He's a loose cannon.
I don't think so. To me,
smarter, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Mike Tyson and Don King.
I don't think first of all, I don't think it's a good investment because it's a niche market. It's not center. The majority of the country is more center than they are left or right. The people that make the most noise are on the left and right, and Parler's totally QAnon conspiracies. The same way that Donald Trump's app, Truth Social, is on the verge of going bankrupt. All those followers Donald Trump had on Twitter did not follow him over to Truth Social because he's crazy.
That's true.
Well, that, but also people don't understand how expensive these servers are. They're $1 billion will be gone within 3 months.
Ooh.
If Kanye were to buy that, that's why it's a bad investment. So, and I don't think, and if I am Candace Owens' husband, my number one thing would be I have basically a parent company, and then I'm making Parler like a child company, and Kanye's just gonna buy that asset.
And not just that, it's like
That would be the
it's
smartest
like
thing to do.
it's
Kanye's not getting Parler. I say he's buying an asset.
it's like it's yeah
It's
it's
too. It can't be. It's too stupid for. I would look at Candace Owens' husband as an idiot if he doesn't do that.
and it's like buying a McDowell's franchise when you have McDonald's already there.
Exactly.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I want to welcome Ishmael Muhammad. How are you, sir? And Sir Maestro, how are you? Welcome to the panel.
Peace.
I don't know how much you guys have heard, but I want you guys to speak because we've been talking for a while. And I'm sorry I didn't see you guys sitting backstage, but please, Sir
She don't got her glasses on.
Sir Maestro, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you think.
Yeah, my name is Sir Maestro, RemnantNation.tv, Gladiator ENT, etc. As far as a conversation, I think that number one, we have to realize that individuals like Kanye play chess, not checkers. Mm-hmm. That's number one. And when you remember that, then you can start looking beyond the surface value. Like, I think a lot of us get too caught up in what we're seeing at surface value. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not even knowing, pieces being moved and put together. Me being in the industry myself and into the whole creating apps and the whole 9 yards, I understand how it looks right now. But trust me, what Kanye's doing, and I'm saying doing, not may do, because they've already announced the agreement that's been done. It's not if he's going to buy Parler. That's a wrap as of 17, 18 hours ago. And I have seen a whole lot of Black folk on Facebook today supporting it. Okay. That's facts. That's facts. I've been sitting back, tripping off of it today, like, damn, okay, this actually might work. Number two, we as the people love competition. And when I say as a people, I mean human beings. We love the art of competition. The biggest competition this is going to spark up is Kanye versus his buddy Elon, because it seems like everything's being smoothed out with the whole situation with him locking in Twitter and all that. And with that happening, and what Elon is going to be pushing, apparently with Twitter, like, yeah, that'll be the main competition right there. And they both have the money to drag that fight out. And at that same time, the fight's dragging out, the platform's going to build, if not only for any other reason, the controversy, just to see what's going on. Why are people rushing over here? Why are people rushing over there? What's so good about this side? What's so good about that side? What is Kanye doing with it? Off of that alone.
You think that Kanye can compete with Elon Musk with $2 billion? Is that what you're saying?
I think that if he plays his cards right, yeah. Because Elon Musk doesn't have as much at stake, as Kanye does. Kanye has more at stake in this situation.
Elon, so even though you have knowledge of a lot of the companies that made Kanye that money are pulling out.
I'm aware of that. But he still got that money. It's what you do with it now. It ain't really about, okay, you helped me get a couple million, you helped me get a couple million. The fact is, I have it now. You may have helped me get it, but I got it already. Now it's what I do with it now going forward that may sustain me or break me. Now, if Kanye's smart, if he's really that pro Negro we really want him to be, then he'll take that money and do his thing with it. Like strictly Kanye from the ground up. Me personally, I wouldn't have bought Parler. But then again, I'm a hip hop guy that just so happens to also code. Everybody can't say that. So, I'm thinking Kanye's like, you know what, Parler. Remember, Kanye's a marketing genius as well. He's a marketing genius. You choose Parler of all platforms, a highly controversial platform with the whole Trump scenario and the conservatism and all that stuff. Like, it's more than what we just thinking. Trust me, it's not what the one thing we're all focused on. It's not. The man's a marketing genius. Most geniuses are a little cuckoo, and there you go. But that's yay. And I think that at the end of the day, he's going to benefit one way or the other. He's going to make his money.
Do you think that Kris Jenner is a marketing genius?
I think that no.
No. Even though two
No.
of her daughters have $1 billion.
No, for personal reasons, I do not think Kris Jenner is a marketing genius. Now, Kanye, and I respect everybody's opinion on the panel. Kanye definitely is a marketing genius. Like, even with the whole White Lives Matter shirt and all that, which I'm not gonna get into all that. Trust me, it was more about the marketing. It's like when you're in certain industries and things kind of start to quiet out with your name a little bit and all that, and kind of die down, and you're an attention whore at that. You have to, if you're a marketing genius, you do things like this. Now, in your heart, you might not feel like how you feel it or whatever. Think about, and I'm saying supposedly because I don't know if it's the truth, but according to Charleston White, most of the stuff he says out of his mouth is not how he truly is. It's just all fun and games, although it's more than fun and games coming back his way. So, I kind of liken it to that. I guarantee you guys, we could have a pool. I bet you whatever that it's one way or the other, he's gonna come out. He might not have the ultimate success that he's looking for, but he's gonna have some type of success in some type of way. It just might not be how we're anticipating it to be. It might not just be with a straight up, oh snap, Parler's the ish right now. It might just be, hell, he might just be doing it for agitation. And that agitation is going to add to marketing. Marketing adds to dollars.
You think he's spending $1 billion to control people?
Huh? Say that again?
You think he's spending $1 billion of his own money to troll people?
I think that. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I'm on a.
Okay, I'll read the super chats. Thank you, Don Levon, for the super chat. He says, no, Kanye can't say what he wants on Parler. The power that be won't let that happen. If Kanye said anything against the Jews, he will lose subscribers and or get canceled. Second super chat, Don Levon. Thank you so much. Don Levon be supporting the show. He says, I think Candace is playing Kanye for Boo Boo the Fool. She is doing a Kris Kardashian and pulling all the strings by getting Kanye to invest in her husband's failing company. Like a good wife should. That is my fucking opinion. I think Candace is way smarter than Kanye, or she would not be running his pockets right now. It's one thing if Kanye would have said, I'm going to say what I want on my own platform. I'm building my own platform from scratch. All the people in my church are coming with. All my music fans are coming with. But he did not do that. He's giving his money to Candace Owens and her husband. They are running his pockets. This is my opinion right here. Candace is doing her thing. Y'all are sleeping on Candace.
One thing.
Go ahead, and then I'm going to pass the mic to Ishmael.
Right. Just one.
Is he still here? I think he left.
I will admit that the monkey wrench to the whole situation is Candace Owens and her intentions. Mm-hmm. And how much Kanye is buying into that. However, again, I think that it's bigger than that. It is deeper than that. And it's more than that, because but the way Kanye's viewing this, if he's being honest with what he's telling us out his mouth, than this whole thing with the Jewish community, which I wouldn't have done that. I mean, some things you got to keep to yourself.
Right.
You know, if you're a brand, you're handling business situations, some things you absolutely have to keep to yourself. However, freedom of speech, you know, so I'm gonna kind of leave my opinion there. But
okay. Well, we appreciate your opinion. We don't all have to disagree. We famously disagree on this panel. Joanna, smart or dumb for Kanye to give $1 billion of his $2 billion, and Sir Maestro thinks he can compete with Musk. He thinks he could compete with Elon Musk. What do you think about that?
Like I said earlier, playing the long game. I mean, a very long game. It's a magnanimous play. Playing the short game. Black people ain't gonna support them. They don't. There's the most fickle culture, subset culture in America. We're too busy wanting to be on the winner's side, whatever that is. Even if it's the so-called Europeans platforms, they're more about being seen and heard. And this Parler thing would be starting off pretty small. Tristan can speak more to this than I can. The business gentlemen, all of these guys, I'm listening. They're more business minded than I am. Although I'm a business owner, that I can tell by listening, they're more business minded. And so the quick answer is, for the long game, it's a possible big magnanimous win. But for the short game right now, it doesn't make sense. And I like what your point is. If you have 2 billion and then you risk $1 billion, $1 billion is still a lot of money, Jen. He'd be all right if he lost. He'd be all right. Elon Musk has lost so much money over his life already. Trump has lost so much money over his lifetime already. You know, that's not a really, really big issue when you got billions. I mean, you have to buy countries, small countries and stuff to feel the pain of losing $1 billion. But my point is, you know, the smart comeback, quick. It's a magnanimous play. But for the short game, I just don't think it's worth it. I like what Tristan said. Just make your money, mind your business, and be quiet. Just because I know a lot of things, Jen, I don't espouse it to every single person because they ain't trying to hear that. You know, I come to your platform to say what I feel is a little bit of truth, because I know you will allow it and you won't like block me. You know, you're not that quick blocking type chick. But there's some people you can't say the truth. You can't say what you feel or what you think because they're emotional. You know, you're very passionate, but you're not like egregiously just so close-minded that you can't hear other things. Whereas what Kanye is getting into is that he wants to be able to speak his mind, but he doesn't recognize that the people that he would need to hold him up ain't got no money.
See that? Okay, so I'm with you there. I think it's too risky. I think he should have waited to buy Parler. I think it's too risky because right now, even his fan base, even his supporters are kind of like touch and go. Like, is he for us? Is he against us? Now he's talking about George Floyd wasn't really killed by that knee. So, you know, even his fans are kind of like, are we rocking with him? Are we not with him? And what is he saying? He doesn't have a solid fan base like Trump. No matter what
exactly
Trump says, those people will run up in that Capitol. They got
exactly.
But with Kanye, he's like alienating the people that were riding for him. But it's like, what are we doing here, right? Before I continue, let me pass the mic to Mr. T. Mr. T,
before you do, you're so cool, Jen, that I can come on your platform and say that it was fentanyl and meth that killed George Floyd, and you won't block me.
I will not block you. That is your damned opinion. Crazy as it is, Joanna.
Yeah, what's up? How are you? You good?
I'm really good. What say you? And don't get to talking for half an hour, okay? I'm not gonna be here.
No. I'll be to the point because I've got to be. Because I have to be to the point because to touch on a few things. Hello to the panel, and thank you again for having me on the show.
Definitely.
Basically, yeah, you mentioned the fact that I think you mentioned giving away £1 billion, yeah, and the issue of Parler, the Parler website. Okay.
Well, they're guesstimating Parler is worth $1 billion.
That's fine. The issue is this.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. The issue is those far right people. Yeah. Although it's the same over here. Good example, Meghan Markle. On the surface, if you're black and right wing conservative, they'll accept you and they'll talk and they'll embrace you and engage you, but they won't be racist overtly. They won't say, "Oh, Candice Owen, N-word." However, you notice they were very outspoken about the birth of her child, who is biracial. I think she had a child from a young British aristocrat. Okay, the point being, is that if he does buy the site, those people on the site will probably leave and go elsewhere. Okay,
Ooh,
so you'll just have
another thing. That's another thing.
Right. Okay.
Jay-Z, nigga. Okay.
So I'm just sorry. Let me just skirt through quickly. Sorry to cut you. Just going to skirt through because there's quite a few. Yeah. So basically, and the worst thing is if you put down £1 billion on the site and they move on, just be an empty site, an empty barren site, because they won't entertain it. They don't like having people of color in positions of power owning things. And the worst thing is you owning their website. Come on, they'll go back to Stormfront. That's where they're gonna go. Okay, so that's that. Now, one quick thing, the £1 billion thing. Okay, now, £1 billion is a lot of money, yeah. And someone mentioned, I think it was a good point by Jay Washington. I think a good point. People with money, they lose the money, but they get it back. Okay, the difference with Kanye is, if he loses that money, similarly to Mike Tyson, they know he's not financially savvy. Okay, so even R. Kelly, best example. Okay, so what they're going to do, they let you have your money, let you have your millions that you run around and think you're good and everything. You can play the Negro, dare I say it, have the flash car, the blonde, white, Caucasian chick, fine. But when you lose that money, that's when you're on shit street because they'll make sure you don't come back. At best, you'll have, say, 2 million tops at best. But the big money is gone because they're like vultures. In those circles, those people are financially driven. Okay, they want your money. Hence why 9 times out of 10, people like that get involved with a very dodgy and bent accountant. You always notice that. So that's why more time or not, black men with vast amounts of money don't have that money towards the end of their lives. They don't have it. Very rarely do they retain that money. Look at the history. Michael Jackson. I can go on. There's always been money being taken out the kitty towards the end. Trust my word. Write this down. Kanye West in 10 years' time will not have that money.
Ooh, let me tell you something. Dan, speak.
Yes,
okay.
but I see you nodding. Yes, I like that guy in the shades. I like your shades too, brother. I like
them
shades, my brother.
Facts, bro. I'm with you. Facts.
What's his name? Mr. Maestro. Big up, my brother. Big up, my American brother. Big up. Bless Irie, brand. One time. Love one time, your brother. Big up. God bless.
One second. A lot of great points. That's a factor that we did not touch on. Right-wing, white-wing conservatives are not going to take kindly to the angry Negro yelling about Jewish people on their platform. That's something that we did not think about. Really quickly, I want to read Don Levant's super chat. Thank you, Don Levant, sir. He says, Kanye's billions is not liquid, though. He would have to sell his stocks and or get investors. I think Candace is going to want her money in cash. Net worth isn't the same as income. Great point. I think they will invite him to their soiree, not the barbecue. You know how we invite people to the barbecue? I think they'll invite him to the soiree. And once they juice him for that money, they're done with the Negro. That's what I predict. I think it's risky. I want Ishmael to say something because we've been talking and he just got back. So what is it? Everybody's in shades tonight. What is it? Wait.
It clearly is the statement of the evening. So I'm counter to some points that were made this evening, and
Okay.
I wanted, and my problem with some of the points that are made is that we keep speaking in language of they're not going to let, he won't be able to do, and clearly what Kanye is attempting to do is break the mold. He is clearly trying to step outside of the box, of the scope of playing the nice, content Negro. And that's why he gets the marker of crazy. Now we know he may have some mental challenges. We're not going to doubt that. You know, we are all traumatized people living in this in American society. But I would want to say that, you know, instead of, you know, predicting that the worst case scenario for this brother, I think that we really have to look and see how we can get behind the scenario, and maybe not just the purchase of Parler and that whole dynamic of the site, because I really think Candace Owens is on a money grab. I think she falls into the same bag as what was the girl that robbed Robin Givens. I think she falls into that same bag. I think she's a content hustler, and I believe she's intelligent, but I think that she's found an angle and she's just working the angle. You know, in the same manner that Omarosa worked the angle up until she hit that great white wall, and all of a sudden Omarosa turned very, very black. I mean, so, you know, ultimately, I think that with Kanye and what he's attempting to do is he believes that he can take this site and control it and dominate it. And that's really what he's looking to do, is be the authority in a scenario, you know, ultimately. In the same way that Elon Musk was trying to be the authority in this scenario of Twitter. So whether it's going to work or not, I mean, you know, only time will tell in relationship to that. But I don't limit Kanye, because he's came out of being, you know, what, $53 million in debt, and turned around and became, you know, the wealthiest black man in America right now. So, you know, I don't say that he's economically inept. I think he's had the ability to make smart moves when he needs to make smart moves. And he may not be the smartest and most savvy entrepreneur that's out there, but he's damn sure treading water very well.
Hold on, Joanna. Donovan, and I know No Saint, I know you wanted to say something, and I interrupted you so Ish could go. But Donovan says, well, if Kanye buys Parler, those Jews are gonna remind Kanye that he's still just a nigga with money. It will not be successful. I think I would have had more hope for him had he not been going about things the way he's going about things. If this was like Byron Allen, I'd be like, oh, Byron Allen is, you know, he's gonna make some moves over there. But this guy is a loose cannon. And not only that, people with old money. Remember, the people that Candace Owens is in bed with, the right wings, the conservatives, that's old money. Kanye is new money, and Kanye is new money again with companies that are pulling out now. They used him because he was a mega star and he could sell some sneakers to some Negroes in the hood. Now they have no use for him. So this is a different Kanye. This isn't, again, liquid income or whatever. I think Candace is playing chess, like Donovan said. He's playing checkers. He reminds me of Mike Tyson. I'm the biggest, strongest, most powerful black man in the world. Everybody fears me. And Don King was running his pockets. Don King was, while he was being the big, bad, intimidating Negro who said whatever he wanted to say, I will eat your children. And everybody was like, yes, look at that free black man. He was getting his pockets ran. And that's my worry about this.
Why?
That's
What? I'm not
crazy.
worried.
I agree. I agree with you
I agree.
wholeheartedly on those points that you just made, Jen. But I also agree with Ish. I like. I don't necessarily agree with everything Ishamal
Ishmael.
Muhammad said, but I love it when I see a strong Asiatic man come on and say that he doesn't like it when he hears other people say, well, they won't allow us, or that is just, I love what he said about that point. But my point to you, sir, Mr. Muhammad, is it's not necessarily about what others will allow. What my point is that other Asiatic people don't have the money to uphold him. See, the Europeans have been upholding him, and like Jen said, okay, you're not exactly what we're saying. So big big money players, J.P. Morgan Chase, they said, we don't need your money.
Mm.
See, that's the issue. It's not about what is allowed. This is America. You can say and do what you want, but there's consequences. And if the people who supporting you won't
Exactly.
uphold you through those consequences, that is the dilemma. Not about what is allowed, but I'm impressed and I love it when an Asiatic man gets on camera and says that shit.
And
Now,
one
But
thing, I
he's a loose cannon. Like Jen
one
said, he's a
thing
loose
I
cannon
don't.
though.
wait a minute. To me, that's power. When someone says, take your little $140 million and get the fuck on. That to
Yes.
me is power.
I don't.
Taking
That's
140
power.
I don't believe Kanye is just this big old dummy. I don't believe Kanye is just this big old dummy either. I
Now,
believe that he got plenty of sense. He has plenty of business
no,
acumen.
no one is saying that he's a dummy, but he's a loose cannon. There's a difference. I don't think Kanye's dumb. He wouldn't have went from
So
Chicago.
that's why I believe that's why he's getting his own platform. Because he's saying I can't do what I want to on y'all shit. Let me go and get my own.
At Parler,
Yes, he is. They love his talking points. They love that. They love his talking points. They love his talking points. The George Floyd died of fentanyl and meth. They love the Zionists and all that, and these people and those people. They love those talking points over there.
They're not going to back you. Of course,
they love it to an extent. Sorry.
They're right. They love black people talking against black people. They love it. It is. Yes.
They love him talking about Zionists and the Jews, the so-called Jews. They love that talk too.
But are they going to back you with money? Money talks. I could give props all day. Props don't pay the rent. Before we continue, I want to throw it back to No Saint because I know he's been waiting and I've been interrupting and we've been interrupting.
No, I hope this isn't too late of the comment, but I wanted to say the Mr. T, the UK guy over there, he took the words right out of my mouth when he said, as soon as Kanye owns Parler, all those right-wing QAnon conspiracy theorists are gonna be out the door. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. They're gonna say no. They're gonna say Antifa took over this.
Bless.
That is a fact.
We ain't answering to this Negro. We haven't been having fun over here, so some Negro will tell us what to do.
Hey, Jen, I wanted to answer a question that you asked, and I'm a little late behind that when you said that is Kris Jenner a marketing genius.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a marketing pimp. I think she is a genius pimp. She is pimped to the highest level, and she has prostituted her children. And I think she's a master. Like I think Bishop Don and all those cats need to just put their hats down on the ground when she comes walking by, because ultimately, and seriously, I mean that to the serious degree. If you study just the concept of pimping, if you study the whole dynamic of it and the ruthlessness of it, that's the key aspect of the ruthlessness of it. You're going to hear tales and books and stories about Kris Jenner long after she's gone. As soon as she's out the picture, it's going to be sobs and tears and oh, my mother was the worst person on the planet, and she made me do this, and she made me get naked, and she made me go screw this guy, and she made me make this video, and she, I'm telling you, it's going to be a cold game. It's going to be worse than what was it? No wire hangers. What's Mommy Dearest? It's going to be Mommy. She's going to be Mommy Dearest Part 2.
Yeah,
You know,
Joan
so
Crawford.
I just wanted to get Joan
billions,
Crawford.
literally. It's not like she turned one of them into a billionaire. She turned two of her children into billionaires. The other ones are worth 9 figures. I mean, what can we say?
And to his point, Kris Jenner would applaud her daughter continuing to make the money after her death by saying and being hyperbolic or whatever. That is the game. That again, that's an example of the long game.
Wait, I got a quick question. Does anybody know, did Kanye get these deals while Kris Jenner was managing him?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Because if that's what it is, he's not getting jack shit.
That's a good question, because the Kardashians are very, very connected in the entertainment business, and she was managing and probably was the big part of brokering those deals. And now she doesn't like Kanye anymore. And once somebody's mama don't like you, it's forever.
But you know what I'd like to say too in relationship to that. If Kanye, takes on to an enemy, because that's the other dynamic. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. If he leverages that angle, because there are a lot of wealthy individuals from a variety of races that are not pleased with Jewish influence. And I know that you asked the question about what was the issue between blacks and Jews, and really the issue. And it really kicked off with the civil rights movement and Malcolm X. That's when the first kickoff for anti-Semitism started up, and it continued on over generations. But the dynamic of that is that if Kanye allies himself with those who privately agree with him, he still has leverage. And there are a lot of those who are of many racial dynamics that agree, that disagree with Jewish influence, and that's really the issue. Is that there's an inordinate Jewish controlled voice within the Black community, and we don't have influence in their community. We don't buy.
I love it.
We don't own. We don't own property in their community. They don't rent. They don't rent a house, and we're the landlord. They're not signed to our labels. They're not. They're not on our TV shows trying to get on and get put on.
Yep, that's what I was saying.
It's a real.
Wait, so I gotta pause you.
Issue.
I gotta pause you. I'm gonna go Joanna Washington in a minute. Okay, I gotta pause you. Whose fault is that?
I love that. I love that.
It's not a game
in the business right now. We're talking about Jay-Z. We're talking about Dr. Dre. What do they shop for? What do they buy? Are they buying the neighborhoods? When Nipsey tried to buy back the block, what happened to Nipsey? Whose fault is it that the Jewish people own everything and run everything? Whose fault is that?
I love it.
Not own everything because should they not own everything because Black people don't want them to? Should they not buy up the block because Black people feel bad about it? Whose fault is that they have so much power and so much influence? Whose fault is that? What would you do? Let's say, and this is going to burn everybody up. What would you do with $1 million reparation check right now? What would you do?
I love that question. And I want to ask.
Go ahead. Sid.
I want to ask you something, Mr. Muhammad, because something that you said just sent a light bulb up in me. Listen, how much of a power play would this be if so-called Black people in America converted to Judaism, to their original so-called faith? How much of a power play, not economically, of course, but like what Jen said, whose fault is it that we don't coalesce our currency and our creativity to be power players and creators who benefit all these communities that so-called Black people are, residing in. If they really put their money together, coalesced their money and bought the blocks, and not only bought the blocks, Mr. Muhammad, how much of a power move if they also converted to Judaism, which is what I believe is their true original faith.
I'd love to speak here, but go on.
I think that it is a power play. You're right that it is our original faith, or one of our original faiths. I would say I don't disagree with that statement. We are, when we talk about was Moses Black, all this happened in Africa, So if we're to take the book to be literally true, if we're going to take these ancestral books and take them for the literacy of them and say this is historical fact, and all this took place and all these individuals existed, and it may not be allegory, it may not be metaphor, it may not be prophetic, but if we were to take these words to be actual facts, that is one of our earliest faiths, and and that's where the alignment of the three faiths that exist in unifying them would be a very powerful act. Yes, I think that would be a very powerful act. I think the Million Man March was a successful example of where the potential power can exist. I also would want to say that, who's at fault? Yes, we are at fault, but we're also, it's like, and I hate to use this term, but I'm gonna use it.
Tristan,
we have been victimized, and we continue to be victimized, and we also suffer from what's that syndrome? Oh wow, the syndrome where the hostage
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. Thank you.
I disagree with that, Mr. Muhammad, but it's Stockholm syndrome.
But I think that we have different aspects where we suffer from that dynamic, and I think that at certain points, yes, we have to come into a point where we look at our predator, identify it, and separate. I'm a separatist. I think my politics is clear. Of where I come from, I'm a separatist. I believe that we just need to go out on our own and do our own thing, work out our issues, get our children in order, get our money right, the whole nine. I am a devout separatist. So
let me ask, right? Because I know no saint is white. So let me ask the Black people on the panel. Kanye buys Parler. He's on a platform where it's, the alt-right and the Republicans and the right-wingers and the conservatives and the Republicans and all them white people that don't like the Blacks. Are you guys going to go leave Facebook and get an account over on Parler and support your boy?
No way. That won't happen.
Ish? World King?
I'll say this.
I may go check it out. I may go check it out.
There may be a possibility, because I'm going to say this.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Just as much as I'm a separatist, and I know that there are those who want me to separate and are on the same bandwagon, and we don't have to get along. If you don't like me, I don't like you either. And now we're very clear. As long as you play on your yard and you don't come into my home field, we won't never have a problem. Right. So ultimately, okay, fine. If you're going to support my separatist movement, or you're going to be down with it, or you're not going to impede it, we can coexist. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to sing Kumbaya. We don't have to live this false American dream. Go over there in your yard, do your thing. Don't come over here in my yard, because if you come over here in my yard, we're going to smash for real. But if you're going to agree that, yeah, okay, we'll move out of Mississippi, y'all can have Mississippi, cool. Good business. We out of here. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that. I don't have a problem where if we got to sit at the table with those who oppose us or have a problem with us and agree to separate, agree to divide land, to divide wealth. If we can do that, I have no problem with that conversation. I have no problem with sitting at the table.
Okay, so again,
what you're saying is sorry. I'd love to speak.
You would join Parler where a bunch of white people can't stand your black ass because Kanye bought it. You'd be in that atmosphere, in those chats, in those comments, in those posts. You would frequent Parler, even though that's how those people are gonna be talking.
Well, that's how people talk on Facebook and Instagram and the rest of them too. You have a lot of mixed up people.
No, people get jailed.
In answer to your question, yes, I would possibly jump on just because I don't have a problem throwing my voice in the whole conversation, so that you clear that there are black men who feel this this way about this issue.
Oh, y'all like some.
And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem walking into the room of a bunch of white supremacists.
I would be damned if I let a motherfucking Kanye West, who hasn't put a fucking red penny in any of our communities, I'd be damned if I let that motherfucker pull me in to a fucking social media app to argue.
Thank you.
With a white racist, and he hasn't put one fucking in any of our pockets or our communities. Married a bitch that he put above everybody, okay? Better than the world. And now he's mad at that. I will be damned if I let a Kanye West drag me into some right-wing conservative.
Well, that's why.
Let me say this, Jen. I respect
media app. I be damned. With that said, really quickly, I want to read Travel's comment before you say something, Joanna. He says, other communities have a higher marriage rate and a lower divorce rate. Why would they let you in their community? All you will do is bring the property value down. Shots fired. What you were saying?
I would say, Jen, I love you and I respect you. You're so passionate, but I think Mr. Muhammad would understand what I'm about to say right now.
Give it to us, Joanna.
And I've already stated I'm not a Kanye fan. This is not about me liking Kanye's politics or anything of that nature. Right. But if we can sit on panels and complain about Europeans and have an opportunity to see some real movement, because the new frontier is the internet. Okay, that's the new frontier. Sure that's the new challenge. If a so-called black man, I just don't understand, and he put billions behind it. I don't see how I could not be a part of that type of a revolution, of that type of movement into a new era. And to your point, which I respect about Kanye not putting a dime in the so-called black community, how many of Europeans that you do support who still haven't put a dime in the so-called black community or the Hispanic community or the Afro-Latino community? They hold on, because I know you're going to have a great point to make.
Okay.
How many Europeans whom you do support financially, whether you're aware of it or not, have not put a dime into your community, have not put a dime into your self-interest, have not put a dime.
That's not their responsibility. That's not their responsibility.
And you're right. And it's not their responsibility. And it's not their ressibility, but we still support them. So my point is, within my lifetime, would I like to consider being a part of a movement that actually made a statement and like I said, in a long game, potentially bring about a form of change that I could respect? Not the hyperbolic talk. That's not what I respect. Not about the hyperbolic talk about DEFCON 4 and this, that, and the other. I'm talking about on another level. Yes, I would see myself supporting the brother.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. What white companies do I support and don't put any money into my community? Because remember, white people are not pandering to me and yelling at the top of their lungs for me to support them because their white wife doesn't kick their ass to the curb. Or
they don't have to. You're in the movie industry. You're an actress.
Okay, and
so you're a part of that. If you have a bank account, is it an Afro-Latino bank account?
Right, but I'm getting paid to be there, right? Is Kanye going to pay me to be somewhere? because he'll have my support. I'll show up. If he's cutting, because I'm in the entertainment industry, they cut checks for me there, right? I'm not one of those people that looks down the nose of capitalism. Capitalism is great. Get it how you can, right? But I show up because I get paid. What is Kanye going to give me? On Facebook, I'm quitting Facebook. Instagram, I'm getting paid. TikTok, getting paid. This panel, getting paid. What am I going to get from Kanye? Because I don't mind supporting people if it's reciprocal, whether you're blue, black, yellow.
Did you support Barack Obama? Did he put money in your pocket?
I did not support Barack Obama. I do not vote.
Good for you. Good for you, because he was not worthy of being supported.
Let me
see, but I feel the same way about Obama that you do about Kanye. I don't care about the politics. I just like that there was a black man in the White House. Just like you feel about Kanye. Even though Kanye is acting like a complete recluse, it's a good thing because the internet is new frontier. So we got to support him. So that's the same reason I liked Obama. Now, I wasn't going to vote for him. I don't believe in politics of voting. I just like that there was a black man in the White House and white people were mad about it.
That's fair.
Dang.
So let me chime in and address one point in relationship to that. I think that you're right. It's social media. It's an immaterial plane. It has no physical liquid viability other than the valuation that's put on top of it. So we're clear. And we're only speculating what Kanye could do with it, and we can fantasize on all the dynamics. He may make a platform that allows platforms like yours to be able to make more revenue off of streaming, and you could be much more successful in relationship to that. That's a potential. If you look at this, if you listen to the interviews that he's been doing, he's really trying to make him put himself in history in some dynamic, but in another aspect of it, he's also trying to change the social dynamic on how we do business and how we function as a people in the business. And that's why he's exposing all the financial imbalances that take place. And he's recklessly able to do it now because he has $1 billion that he can cushion himself from, and he's supposed to be free at this point. And all of us, if we were in that billionaire position, would fantasize on the idea that we would be free enough to speak our truth, that we would be able to say, to hell with you, Mr. Charlie, this is what we think about you, and this is whack, and this ain't cool, and this is what's going on with this brother over here. And we would hope that we would be that person. So he's attempting
he's not saying that though, my brother.
Person.
He's not saying.
Thank you, Mr. T. Here we go again. Something that I see happening in the community overnight. Now you're trying to messiah him, though he's done nothing, absolutely zero, nothing through his entire career. I'm talking about when he first started. Through his entire career, he has not done outreach programs.
We can't
in the studio. Wait a minute. I'm talking about even on a small scale. Who you are is who you are. Whether you have $10 in your pocket or $10,000 or 10 million or 10 billion, who you are is who you are. Even at the $1 billion mark, Kanye has still failed to give back. And that's fine. He doesn't owe anybody a dime of his money. But I'm not going to sit here and listen to people messiah this man now and talk about, well, you don't know what Kanye is going to do with that money. Maybe he's going to make a platform for you to make more money, Jen, because you're trying to messiah him. And he hasn't shown one iota that he is that type of person. Kanye,
Jen, I would disagree.
I'm not trying to messiah him. Here's an example. Here's an example. I don't like LeBron James.
He's helped people in Chicago.
I don't like LeBron James, but if LeBron James did something quite profound, how many times are we going to continue to say, well, black people, millionaires or billionaires should do something to have a bigger platform for so-called black people? And we continue to say these things. But for instance, I don't like rap music. But if all these rappers who are millionaires came together in a conglomerate and started a company that promoted and franchised and put so-called black artists out there, I would support that. And I wouldn't be getting a dime from that. But it's a statement of saying we are going to turn this around. And we do have the power if we supported these things, but we only support when Europeans do things. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired. I want to put my presence behind it.
I also believe Kanye has done
There's a
stuff
problem.
though too.
There's a big flaw. There's a flaw. There's a big flaw. I've got to
Sometimes people
speak.
don't brag about what they do all the time. Sometimes people do things in silence.
Yeah,
You don't have to see on Front Street what they do. Because sometimes people do things like out of the kindness of their heart. They don't do things for the clout.
Doing it in silence or out loud. My issue.
Jen, hold on, Jen. Let me finish. Let me. I want to address a point.
Let me finish. Respectfully, my thing is, I am not looking for celebrities to give dime one of their money to anybody. They do not owe me, you, and I don't care if you bought their album. If you bought their album, you volunteered for that shit. You put that money in their pocket. I don't buy music like that. I don't have a dog in the fight. I've never supported Kanye. I've never put my money in his pocket. He doesn't owe me or the community anything. He doesn't owe anybody a dime. What annoys me is people trying to messiah him when he has shown zero evidence that he is that type of personality or character or person, period. It sounds stupid. That's how white Jesus got on everybody's black wall. You're messiahing people that are not tangibly giving to you. So please don't sit here and tell me, well, you never know. Kanye may get this Parler company and give back to everyone and make us all billionaires. It sounds asinine. That's
not why I think it would be successful for so-called black people that he do it.
Can I respond?
I've got to speak. What happened to Black Planet? What happened to Black Planet? Black Planet. Black Planet.
Before we dive too far away,
don't forget Black Planet. Don't forget Black Planet.
Yeah, we got you. Kanye, hold on, Jen.
You remember that?
Jen, can I respond to what you
said?
Yes,
I'm trying to tell him let you talk. What the fuck? Go ahead. I'm like everybody talking. Once it goes past the 2-hour mark, my fuse gets short. What?
We don't want a short Puerto Rican fuse. That's a Puerto Rican bomb right there. Donda House was a charity that, and I don't know much about Donda House, but I know he was doing some work with Donda House. I know that Donda House was doing some charity work in Chicago with Chicago's youth. I know that Kanye put the money up for that. I know that with Reverend the white Catholic priest that has the black Jesus in his church, that Kanye put money behind all of his programs in Chicago. So, that dynamic, when you say that he has done nothing, that is an absolutionist statement that is not accurate. And I just want to put that out there in relationship to his history and relationship. Now, I don't know all of his philanthropy. I know for a fact about those two scenarios. Personally, I've seen it, I've heard it. In private corners that there has been money that Kanye's contributed towards the communities in Chicago that he came from.
Okay, so Donda's house was at his mother's behest and it tanked. Yeah, you're right. He did Donda's house once. Yeah. And then it tanked. Can we move on and not messiah this man? This is what happens in our communities. That's why Dr. Umar is still getting money. That's why Tariq Nasheed is still getting money. That's why Kanye West is about to be martyred. Stop making people messiahs. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, no, this is what we're saying. But you say that in one breath, but then in the other breath.
To me.
Hold on.
Kanye West is a wealthy celebrity. He is not your savior. He is not here to take you to the promised land. He is not the second coming of Jesus Christ. What is it to even assume? Well, he may get Parler, and then a white conservative QAnon alt-right social media site where he can say whatever he wants about Jewish people. That's the master plan. Kanye's doing all of that to free all the poor people in the hood. Did you not know that was?
No, that's not all that.
The same man who says it ain't Ralph's though. You ain't got these though. You ain't got this money though. Who is he talking to when he's saying that? I'm just curious. Who do you think Kanye West is talking to when he's telling people, it ain't Rouse though, you ain't got these though, you ain't rich though, you ain't got that money though? Who do you think he's talking to? Who do you think he's talking to?
I respect what you're saying, and I wholeheartedly agree that he would not be doing this for the regular smuggler so-called black people. But that is not, no, in my opinion, my humble opinion, sister, is not the reason to withdraw supporting a new venture of this nature. Not because, again, I'm not a Kanye West fan. I've never bought a T-shirt, a piece of music. I don't even know what his clothes look like. I've heard about them. I've heard they look like crap, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm thinking, I'm trying to be, and without Messiah, categorizing him as a Messiah, he is not. But if we're going to continue the conversation about, well, why don't these so-called black millionaires or billionaires do something, that says something, that puts something on the forefront about what so-called black people can do, then we can't just sit by and not support it. But we'll support Mark Zuckerberg. We'll support, understand? And you follow me, Jen? We support it. We support YouTube. It's not owned by.
I get what you're saying, but I always have to, just me personally, I'm just speaking for myself. Somebody's mic is picking up noise. Somebody mute. I get exactly what you're saying, but I'm not anywhere unless it's reciprocal. I don't just show up. This is why I'm quitting Facebook, because I can't monetize Facebook. Any app that I cannot monetize, I am not going to be there. So I'm not going to be supporting Zuckerberg. I'm not just going to be showing up and typing and talk to my friends just because. The Messiah remark was, I was referring to what Ish was saying, because he was giving us the old hopeful Negro spiritual, like, you never know, he's going to get in there and come back and get us all and help us all. So I was specifically talking about what he said, not what you said, Joanna, just to be clear. I understand what you're saying. Well, we're on these sites anyway. If I was not getting paid to be on YouTube, you would not see my face. I would not be here at all.
Jen, I respect that. But for the mass,
I would not be on Instagram. I would not be. That's why I'm quitting Facebook, because I cannot monetize Facebook. So I'm not just going to be sitting there, supporting Mark Zuckerberg. As far as Kanye, and I understand what you're saying too, because it's the same reason I was all for Obama. I didn't vote for him, but I was all for Obama because it was just a black face in a white space. But Kanye rubs me a really, really wrong way. Obama didn't. Kanye idolized a white woman. I take issue with that. Kanye said, a man that we watched die for 8 minutes, that's not how he died.
This is it.
That. So I'm sorry. I'm going to support him just because he's black. He's proven to be, okay, a two-headed snake. He's in bed with the people he wants us to hate. That to me is insanity. You want me to hate the people that made you rich and you're in bed with. If Kim Kardashian threw her vagina back on him, he'd be back to idolizing her and putting her on a pedestal above other women who don't have that aesthetic. So Kanye West can kiss my ass. I still like No Church in the Wild. I still like Jesus Walks. I still like Niggas in Paris, but I will not support him. I just will not. He's talked too much out the side of his neck. People have to know when to shut the fuck up if they want the support of a certain people.
But Jen, what you're saying is right. What you're saying is right. But that's for you. The mass majority of people are not going to make no money off of YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. The masses are going to go over there just because, even if somebody hates them, they're going to go over there to see what he does. Because what do people do on Instagram and on YouTube, Jen? They follow people they hate. They go on their show. They go under their comments to put hateful shit.
Yeah, you're right.
I believe it's going to be a huge thing.
I'm not speak. To listen. I like some of the music. I don't hate Kanye. I think he's a buffoon. Yes, I don't hate him though. I'm not that passionate. So I hate. How dare I don't hate. I don't really hate any of these celebrities. They're doing what they got to do to make their money. We're all doing that, right? We're in this white system, in this white world. I'm not like, oh, man is out to get me. I'm like, okay, white man runs YouTube. How can I make money here? White man runs Instagram. How can I make money here? That's how I think. That's how I think. But I have no reason to go running to support. Kanye is a buffoon to me. Okay, there are a lot of white people who are buffoons to me, right? But you know, can I make money with you? Can we make some money? Can we break some bread? I don't have to like you to make.
I respect that. As an American, as a capitalist, I respect everything what Jen is saying. At the same time,
now let me tell you, Joanna, let me tell you how I'll go over there. If I can monetize Parler, I'll be over there. Is that fair?
That's more than fair, my sister.
I will go
more than fair.
Not because Kanye is there.
Because to that other gentleman's point, anyone else who goes over there, the masses aren't going to be making money anyway. They're not making money on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. They're not making, or Twitter. They're not making any money. That has nothing to do with what affects the psyche.
All right, let me. Can I want
one of the big differences.
I'm sorry, I'm not going over there because I think he's gonna come back and get all the poor people in the hood. I'll go over there if he can monetize us. If he can monetize our accounts, I'll go over there in any other app that's monetized.
Jen, what I want to say is for Joanna Washington. I understand what you're saying, like you're supporting, all these other quote unquote white platforms, but I think a difference is that, like, where are the people at, right? So the people are on YouTube, the people are on these bigger platforms. And so for Jen, she has a more chance of making money to a wider, I'll quote Michael Jordan, Republicans buy sneakers too. You know what I mean? So, I don't support, I dislike the Chinese government immensely, but I can't avoid buying Chinese goods. I would waste my, years of my life trying to figure out what's made in China. So, I mean, sometimes when you're in a society that's, and you're the so-called minority in that society, there is a kind of a compromise. I mean, like the things on the internet are dominated. Some of these sites are dominated. And yes, they're a lot of them are, so-called owned by white people, right? But you can't just avoid it. And you can't go to the smaller, support Kanye's app. I agree, support it. But at the same time, you can't just say, like, I think Black Twitter's out there, right? I don't know how big Black Twitter is, but something tells me it's not as big as Twitter. So you can't just.
It's not as.
I like what he said. And just for the record, I'm not one of these so-called Black people who thinks that they're being oppressed by white people. I love white people. I think white people did a tremendous job building America. I voted for Trump. I hope that I get the opportunity to vote for him again. I agree and love what you just said. At the same time, no, not at the same time. I agree with everything that you just said. Just make sure that you're understanding whom you're speaking to when I'm speaking with Jen. Because Jen and I are very passionate. And we're politically on the opposite perspective spectrum.
Not all the way. I agree with a lot of what you say.
But I love white people. I think white people are brilliant. I appreciate white people.
You lost me.
Hey, Joanna, you funny.
I know I'm gonna lose a lot of friends on the panel.
No, you ain't gonna lose no friends. Ain't nothing wrong with you loving white people.
I love the so-called Black man, Asiatic man as well. I love making money, and I love the way money flows. I love energy. I love creativity. I love intelligence. I love whatever makes the world work, and I do not like hypocrisy. I do not like when so-called Black people are complaining. Where would they be? Go try and live in Nigeria somewhere making $3 a day. Go. I can go on and on, but just make sure you understand you're hearing me well. That conversation that you were having is just not what we were talking about. I would love to have a deeper conversation with you, sir.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And I'm with you. I'm not with you on everything you said. We're totally on different spectrums when it comes to the politicians.
As a white man, how do you feel? Joanna says she loves y'all.
I mean, I think she should judge everybody individually. I don't think she should love a whole. I like all people too, but there's certainly a lot of people when you meet them that you might not like. So I think there's a lot of white people you should
that should
definitely
go
not
without
like.
saying. That should go without saying.
Well,
of course, I mean, in a general sense, I love all people. I don't have to stand back and go when it comes to people of your descent.
No, I get you. I'm the same way. I judge people when I meet them, but I don't dislike any people. I get what you're saying. I don't like even the separatists. The guy, he has a right to be a separatist. I don't dislike him. I don't take offense to him wanting to be a separatist at all. That's his.
Now, like him, I agree that he didn't say this, but if he's a separatist, I think integration was a mistake, and that's without hating white people, and that's without hating white people.
Listen,
I think integration was a mistake.
If I was a black person in this country, I'd probably be a separatist too. So
exactly.
Let me say
exactly.
Let me say this about being a separatist. It's just like when you're in a bad marriage and you decide this situation is not working, and you decide I'm gonna go out on my own.
Amen.
And that is the position of a separatist. I don't hate my ex-wife. I don't, we can have a cordial conversation, but I see that we cannot coexist successfully. And that is the position of a separatist.
And what I want to say,
love that. I love that. Can I start using that, Mr. Muhammad? Do I need to give you credit for that every time I say that? I love that.
Yes, and my ASCAP and my BMI, I'll send you all my royalty information.
Okay.
I mean, I can totally understand. Listen, white people have earned the reputation they got in this country, and they earned people to have distrust. I mean, so I totally understand why you would be that way. I do.
Go ahead.
All right, I need $400 right now.
Even with that, I would say this. There are a lot of white people that I do business with, that I interact with, and that I'm very openly clear about who I am and what my positions are, because I don't believe any man should hide his personal identity. I've met too many. I work in the film industry as well, and I've met too many white people that let you know their politics. So, and when I realized at a certain point, all I have to do is be good at my job, and I can just express myself and be myself, I started to do that. And I found, I started to walk through sets, and they were like, wow, you're being very bold, being Brother Ishmael. I'm like, no, I'm just being myself. So within that whole dynamic, I found that, a lot of white people, Caucasian Americans, were in agreement with a lot of the positions and opinions that I have, and that I no longer had to kind of lurk in the shadows and hide my opinion, but just express my truth and express it without any vitriol, without any hate. This didn't work out. This is not cool. And I believe that we need to do for self. So ultimately, I appreciate, your acknowledgement of history and the facts behind it. And I think that, we can agree to, coexist, or in a certain dynamic, on this platform without there really being an issue.
I love you, Brother Muhammad. You sound like Booker T. Washington. We can do for self. We can coexist within this nation and do for self. I love that.
Let me jump in real quick. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon and his tongue say, if there was a profit in Parler, Trump would have bought it. Trump isn't even on Parler, which is very interesting because Trump wants to say what he wants to say, yet he ain't fucking with Parler. But the Negro with the $2 billion is about to buy it. Food for thought or nah?
Well, again, it's a smart business move. If they're not gonna, if so-called black people aren't going to support it, then I understand that. And again, we're a very fickle culture. Very fickle.
I honestly
I don't
feel
even support
Kanye.
Jennifer Lopez. I don't follow Jennifer. Whenever she's like, "Oh, look, I'm putting this out," I don't give a fuck. I don't care that you wave the flag. I don't care. Anybody that knows me personally knows I felt like this for a long time. I think she's a white woman with a Latin name. Ish, you know. I don't support her either. Like, and one would say, but she's Puerto Rican. You have to, because there's not a lot of us in there. That's not how. I don't just give my support because you wave my flag. So I'm like this across the board.
And let me just say this, because you don't mind it. Jen, I'm going to say this. I've said this before on one of your platforms. Latin or Hispanic, well, Hispanic is kind of made up, but I think you understand what I'm saying. It's European. So you saying that she's a white woman who is, whatever the word you use, she's a white woman. Understand that Europeans are the original. See, I like the original of things. I like to get to the seed of things. The so-called Hispanic, originally the conquistadors, they're Europeans. The Spanish language is a European language. So when you say our, you're talking like, you sound like a so-called black person who says, and it is now, who says that English is my language. But understand, this is a language that was given to me. Likewise to Hispanics, my friend, with respect, was a language and a culture that was given to you by Europeans. It is a European culture, is a European language.
No.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna interject. I think because I think the Latina culture is not strictly a European culture, because
That's what I thank you. That's what I wanted to say. So just so we're clear, I am a mixed race. If you want to use race, I know you think there's only one race and everybody got DNA, right? Aside from that, when we're dealing with race and ethnicity, I am a product of the slave trade. I am mixed race. I am not a Euro Latin. I am not a Spaniard. There's nothing about
What?
They're not.
I thought you was white this whole time. What?
That is that complexion. So
I'm only speaking to the language and so much.
Spanish is not my native tongue, and English is not my native tongue. I had never said that they were. I know I have knowledge of self. Spanish nor English is my native tongue. I am a mixed race baby.
Spanish and English are European languages. I just want to clarify that to everyone who can hear the sound of my voice.
Yeah, we all know that. I think we all know that. We all know that English isn't any of our native tongues. I think we're clear on that. I would hope everybody on the panel is pretty educated in that department. But there are different, if you're talking about Latino, Puerto Rican, there are different races within the culture and in the ethnicity. So when I look at Jennifer Lopez, I see a European, I see a white woman. And if I'm looking at Amara La Negra, I'm looking at an African woman, though they both speak a Spanish.
I agree with that. I like the way you rephrase that.
Can you put up the... No, Spider-Man, not tonight, honey. No, Saint, what did you want to say?
No, I think we were agreeing on the fact that I was just bringing up that, I just got back from Mexico City. That is totally not a Spanish culture down there. That's a mix. It's got Spanish highlights, but you got the Aztecs, you have the Mayans. They were there, and it's a mixture of cultures. That's all I was saying, was that a Latino is at this point a culture that's not European. It's not. It's got influences.
Right.
Remember, I'm talking about the original seed of a thing. Well, Latin is European.
Well, yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, but like for me, believe it or not, English was not my native language or where my people were from either. You know what I mean? But English is now, right? And I don't feel when you say that, oh well, he's when people say European, for me, I'm not. Yeah, my descendants came from Europe, but we are not alike. That's like a cousin. The culture is different.
I agree with that. People say I'm African American. I'm not freaking African.
Yeah,
I'm American.
Well, our cultures have you develop cultures wherever people go. New cultures develop. So that's the only point I was making was that she is Latina.
Now listen, that's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that.
That is so loud, Tristan. If you knew how loud that was.
I love everything that he does. He is just so
We love you,
on it.
Tristan.
So on it every
So
minute.
much love.
Thank you. I try making sure Jim puts me in the cellar if I don't play a video at least once or twice.
Oh, is that what I do?
Listen.
Jen, I've exhausted everything I could possibly say. I'm a working. I got to get up early, but I love hanging out with you.
We did 3 hours. We put in some work. Great points. Of course, we didn't agree with each other, and we're not supposed to.
Amen.
That's the motto on the blog, Jump. We are not
great show.
Agree. Yeah, it was. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your contributions tonight. You guys kicked ass. Even Mr. T came through and was so concise. I was shocked. He was dropping bombs. He was concise. I only felt like cutting.
Thank you.
God
bless
you. I love you all. I love you all, every one of you, regardless of your background, your descent, your ethnicity, your languages, your point of view, your political point of view, your size of your wallets, or whatever appendages that you carry. I love all of you. Salute. Good night. God bless America.
Good night.
We love you too, Juwan.
Good night.
This is amazing, guys. All right, so we are out. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of On the Block with Jen. Do not forget, if you want to support the channel, if you really like this, hit me at the Cash App. If you're catching the replay, throw some in the super chat, but I'm about to sign off. So if you're catching the replay, hit me on the Cash App. I will get it while I'm sleeping. If you want to Gmail me, on the block with Jen at Gmail. That is not a love line. It is not a love app, okay? It is for suggestions, collaboration. Okay, I am not interested.
Okay, swipe left.
If you're into TikTok, I'm on the block with Jen on TikTok, and I'm on the block with Jen on Instagram. If you want to know more about me, just don't harass me, guys. Okay, I'm working. More than likely, I'm working. Stop fucking DMing me. Okay. All right. With that, I wish you all a wonderful night. Let's do this again. This was really, really amazing. And if you guys missed my show from last night, you're missing a good thing. Okay. Like I said, it's either going to free you from that dead-end marriage or save your marriage. Check out my stream from last night. It is heavy. Okay. It'll have you looking at relationships and marriages a whole different way. All right, guys. So I am out. Thank you, Don Lamont, so much for your support. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for holding me down. And good night, guys. I'm out. Tristan, dismiss us, please.
All right. One good thing, every time you see Kanye, just remember this. He's a goddamn clown. That's it. That's all y'all need to remember.
Good night, everybody.
All right, peace, y'all.
Class dismissed.
All right, guys, hit that like and subscribe on your way out the door. I appreciate ya all. And talk soon. Yeah. Hit that like and subscribe. You know you like this shit, damn it. All right, guys, I'm out. Good night. And I'm out.